Lost in the Script, episode 74, Revelations.
Okay, y'all, please tell me the sound is better now.
It's loud as hell.
You hear yourself well now?
Yeah, I can hear myself very well.
Oh, hold on, let me. Y'all, look at George. Yeah, Travis, talk that shit. How you doing, Regina? Grand Valley. George wants your email. He want to sing you some stuff, I guess. How y'all
Manly
doing, man?
bodybuilders?
Yeah, George, you gotta chill out sending them bodybuilders, bro. We were talking
women
earlier.
Bodybuilders.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, and he said now he with old ladies.
Looking ass.
Yeah, now he said he with old ladies now.
Oh yeah, he like gummies.
Yeah, I said he was a granny hunter. Hold on, let me do this real quick. All right, y'all. Let us know what the sound is like. We made it a little louder. He made it very loud. Yeah, I made it very loud this time. People keep saying it's too quiet, it's too loud. Look, it ain't changing no more. Unless it's too quiet. If it's too loud, you gotta turn whatever you listen to down.
Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because it is what it is at this point. What up, Darren? What up, bruh? All right, let's go ahead and start now. These topics, Travis was not able to go through any of them yet.
I don't know shit.
So
I'm winging it.
I'm trying not to read too much for y'all. I'm gonna try to just, explain some of the stuff, just whatever. And a lot of this stuff y'all probably already heard. We just giving our perspective on it anyway. So, but anyway, man, let's go ahead and start with the first subject. This is one we've talked about a couple of times already. We just waiting for the end of the saga of R. Kelly. R. Kelly convicted on many counts, acquitted of trial fixing. So they got him for the child stuff.
Wasn't he convicted 6 out of 12?
Yeah. And this one, it was 3 out of 4.
Okay.
So he got acquitted for the trial fixing in 2008, but they got him on the child stuff still. Now he got to go against Illinois, the state. I don't get it. And then he
already got life. He got 30 years in New York, and then they gave him 90 years in. Yeah. Was it 90?
Yeah. He's not going to get out of this. I already said in 2 years, you're going to hear the sad, tragic tale of R. Kelly. Him suiciding himself.
This is just shaming.
Yeah,
this is shaming ritual. This is
the main ass going after the Pied Piper. Remember the story of the Pied Piper.
He said he's a Pied Piper of R&B.
He said he's a Pied Piper, or Pan. The story of Pied Piper, he gets killed. I'm not Pied Piper, I'm sorry. Pan, he gets killed by his fans at some point. And all these women who were young girls who, if you read the stories, every last one of them say that they were brought to him by an adult. As a matter of fact, one in particular, Sparkle, is once again back in the story. I want to read that.
Didn't the witness come out and say she had something to do with one of the cases she was involved, and she said she didn't have nothing to do with that? I can't quote it, but I thought I saw something like that on YouTube.
Probably. She always. Oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me make sure this time the screen is actually changing. Oh, I know that was loud as hell. I'm sorry. Okay. There you go. So you see here, he was convicted on multiple child pornography and enticement charges, acquitted of others. If you read through this, it says R. Kelly was convicted on multiple child pornography charges. Kelly was convicted on 3 of the 4 counts. Hold on. And production of child pornography and 3 of the 4 counts of enticement of a minor engaged in criminal sexual activity. He was acquitted on 1 count of each of conspiracy to obstruct justice, conspiracy to receive child pornography, as well as 2 counts of receiving. Now these 2 right here, the fact that he got through these 2 right here means whoever gave it to him, they were never going to go after them. So that's why that got thrown out anyway. Said her client has a sense of relief that the case is now behind them, and felt that prosecutors had overblown the case against him. She says she considered filing an appeal. 2 key associates acquitted. I'm trying to find the one on. Here you go. Jane testified she met Kelly through her aunt, Sparkle, who worked with R. Kelly and had a romantic relationship with him. Jane, you see that? Oh, so they finally admitted that Sparkle was messing around with R. Kelly now, which we kind of already knew.
We already knew that.
We already knew it, but they
He
finally
don't just mess around with children. He mess around with older women too.
exactly.
It's just his preferences.
Yeah, you know, I ain't even gonna say that because that sounds crazy. But Jane was 12 or 13 when she met the singer. At the time, Jane traveled the world with a Christian hip hop group whose members were cousins of hers. Prosecutors asked her not to name the group in order to protect her identity. Now you already said it's a
They were a
it's
Christian
her aunt.
group.
Sparkle's her aunt. You already told her her
They
identity.
were a Christian group.
Exactly. Well, you know, R. Kelly, how he learned how to sing was through a gospel choir leader, the woman who has a lot of connections with the industry. So yeah, shortly after they met, Jane said he began spending more time with Kelly and Sparkle. He would watch Kelly and Sparkle record music and talk about basketball and music with Kelly. Jane testified she was 13 when Sparkle suggested Jane should ask Kelly to play a bigger role in her life. So wait, Sparkle is the one who told her to go and formulate more of a stronger relationship with R. Kelly. Jane testified that Kelly became her godfather, at which point her parents felt comfortable letting her stay the night or even the weekend at his home without her parents or aunt present.
Come on, they knew exactly what was going on. Why would you let your 13-year-old go stay with a grown man? I don't care if he is a R&B superstar or not.
When they told this story in the Surviving R. Kelly, she kind of told it in a slightly different way. She made it seem like she didn't have any sexual relationship with him, and that she don't know how she just mistakenly left her with him. She don't know how it happened, but now right here is saying that they was comfortable with this.
R. Kelly had a wife, Andrea.
Yep.
Can she testify to this, or did she know the little girl was there, or he has kids as well? So was she sleeping in the bedroom with the little girl, his kids, or how was this going?
Yeah,
I'm trying to make sense of the story.
Well, we know how it really happened. They sent that little girl with Sparkle to meet R. Kelly to do what they did anyway. The one who has a tape was her niece. Well, right here it's saying that this is the one with the tape the one that Sparkle was connected to and convinced to formulate a stronger relationship with them. How Sparkle and a lot of these other women parents able to escape out of this is insane.
They should be locked up too.
It's crazy. Jane said she was 14 when the relationship with Kelly became sexual, and she lost her virginity with him when she was 15. When Illinois Department of Children and Family Services began investigating the allegations, Kelly was having a sexual relationship with Jane in April 2000 when she was 15. Jane testified that she denied the relationship. She also testified she later denied to Chicago police investigators she and Kelly had sexual relations. Jane, her parents, and Kelly met for a meeting when reports began surfacing in 2002 about the existence of a tape showing the pair engaged in sex acts. She said Kelly admitted to them that he was having a sexual relationship with their daughter. Jane and her father received subpoenas to testify before the grand jury in 2002. Jane testified that prior to appearing before the grand jury, she had conversations with Kelly about loyalty and denying our relationship in the sex tape. Jane testified she lied to the grand jury in 2002 when she was denied having a sexual relationship and appearing in a sex video with the singer. So her parents took a payoff.
And now she's trying to get a payoff.
So the parents got the bread in 2002.
Now
and you don't get the bread, so you had to go with the criminal thing. Because any of these any of these cases against Kelly, civil, all of them are criminal at this point, if I'm not mistaken. So once again, I don't know how the parents are able to get around this story and act like they had nothing to do with it, but
they were all involved. They all knew what was going on. Nobody is a victim.
Yeah,
I can't even. People gonna feel bad for me saying this, but the 15-year-old, they not victims either because they were going along with it, and they're gonna say, well, they are victims because the parents was coaching them and making them do these things. I believe at 15 years old, depending on how your family raised you have a mind to know right from wrong.
When you start saying 15, 16, it gets touchy because people,
they still view them as children.
I'll say again, Dave Chappelle had a great joke he had about 15 where he asked how old is 15. He explained that a 15-year-old white girl got kidnapped and got lost, but a 12-year-old black girl got kidnapped and was able to find her way home, and a 15-year-old black boy got charged with murder when he accidentally killed his friend doing a wrestling move. So how old is 15 really? Can you make the decision you don't want to be pissed on at 15? That was the Dave Chappelle joke.
Decision at 15 years old if you don't want to be pissed on.
So I'm not gonna say that there isn't certain power.
I can't say that you can't stop somebody from doing something to you because you're that age, and then that's considered rape.
Well, I would say even an adult woman, if a man is stronger, it is what it is. Unfortunate. Yeah.
I was touched inappropriately. I was made do this. You report that instantly.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to get some sort of, you're benefiting from this relationship.
The only power dynamic I will say is a 15-year-old girl meeting her celebrity. There is a certain level of, I wouldn't even say a 15-year-old girl.
There's a certain level. Starstruck.
Yeah, there's a certain level of starstruck, and a person who's starstruck who asks you to do something, and that you doing that will make you closer to them. I can understand a 15-year-old girl maybe not knowing how to navigate those things and make the correct decisions, but at the same time, the parents also were egging this on. So it is what it is. What up, Keeper? How you doing?
And the kids were going along with it.
You said the kids going along with it?
The kids was going along with it.
Yeah, they were. Unfortunately.
I'm not talking about the 5-year-old and the 4-year-olds. That's really not even in this case.
They're not in this case.
I'm talking about
15, 16.
15, 14, 15, 16-year-olds.
Like I said, it gets touchy when you start talking about those ages, because we know back in the day, 14, 15 was
you
like...
was pregnant.
Like a lot of y'all grandmas... Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, y'all. They grandmas.
A lot of your grandmas at 14,
you pregnant by what? 20?
21-year-old husband, 22-year-old husband. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's one of those gray area things where what's good at one time ain't good at another time. I understand, but
well, they're gonna say you know better, you do better.
Exactly, but
even in the scriptures,
I mean, we'll see this one.
That was going on in the scriptures too.
This is why it gets touchy. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on. Rapper PnB Rock. I'm sorry. Let me make sure.
I don't know who this is.
Who he is not important. Well, I'm not gonna say he's not important.
Who is he?
Let me go to this first. Cause you're right. Let me just do this right quick. All right. Hopefully it's actually changing screens this time. I know last time I showed 2 screens the whole episode.
The rapper, I think the rapper PN.
It should be on this screen now.
It's still on the screen.
Is it? Well,
yes.
That's a delay anyway. I think it's on the right screen now. But speaking of child situations, Tiffany Haddish accusers ready to settle want apology for doing harm.
So they want money. They don't want justice.
Well, they didn't say money.
Okay. What are they willing to settle with? How many years she gonna get?
They said they want to sit down in Vegas.
In Vegas?
In Vegas. They said they want her to pay for the expenses for the sit down.
Well, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? So will we know what the sit down was?
Then they said they want a public apology for saying that the case was a shakedown. I didn't hear much about money, but let's just see. There's another twist in the legal case being stacked against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. The comedians have come under fire for skits they were involved in back in 2013 and 14 that reportedly starred 2 children, a 7-year-old boy and his 14-year-old sister. We already know all this stuff, through pedophiles' eyes, all that stuff. In the new documents reportedly obtained by Radio Online, John and Jane Doe want to discuss a settlement. However, after reaching out to the actors' legal team, there haven't been a response yet. They claim that they have been ignored. Haddish and Spears have instead chosen to reach out to my mother to get her to force my brother and me to settle. Now, I didn't want to look. We brought the mother. We brought the mother up before, and we said, okay, this is a person who clearly you were friends with, you were friendly with. I know that's deeper stuff on the friend. We're not going to go into that and the relationship she has with Tiffany Haddish. But clearly, if you leave your kids with her, you trust her. I'm not going to go that far. We know in Hollywood and we know comedians in general have a name when they get on the road. I mean, you kind of know what I'm implying right now. So the fact that she's contacting the mother means it seems like it's a scorned situation.
Scorned lovers?
He's going to bust it open. Seems like she's trying to say, look, get your kids,
get off my back.
It's okay. I'm sorry for what happened back then. Da.
She's like, I know I got a little coin now, and y'all trying to go out my bag.
Yeah. So she said, my brother and I have amendable to plaintiff Haddish desire to engage in mediation settlement talks, Jane reportedly stated. She added that she contacted Haddish attorney to discuss the terms of mediation, which included the actress paying for the sit-down that must take place in Las Vegas within the next 2 weeks. If mediation results in a finalized settlement, so that's money, Jane requested that Haddish walk back on her statement about lawsuit being rooted in extortion. It's kind of hard to say that when you're asking for a settlement. I'm going to leave that alone. and states she never intended to harm my brother, mother, and me. Jay also wants a public apology from Haddish as well. Haddish and the accuser mother were reportedly once good friends, and it was suggested that after the actress stated she couldn't be of help with her entertainment career, things took a turn. Hollywood unlocked Jason Lee, a good friend of Haddish, previously threatened to reveal the names of the accusers, resulting in backlash because they were minors at the time of their incidents.
All these people sure do got Tiffany Haddish's back, don't they?
Like, it's for a person who we know the infamous night when Cat Williams, when Cat Williams went on that radio show, he pointed out how Tiffany Haddish was able to be a rising star and she hadn't even did 1 full hour special yet. And when she did her special that New Year's, she tanked. It was bad. And he was proven right at that point. She's went on.
I'm not gonna call her playing the industry. I'm gonna say she's somebody that was placed in the industry because she willing to do what it takes to do what it do.
There's a woman named, if y'all know a woman named, there used to be a show called what's the name of that show? The Foxhole, Jamie Foxx's radio show, The Foxhole. But there was a show on that called Speedy's Comedy Corner. You know, Speedy's Comedy Corner used to have a whole bunch of comedians, Corey Holcomb, Tangerine, Tiffany Haddish appeared on there, obviously Jamie Foxx, Louis Dix. A lot of those dudes showed up on there. Tiffany Haddish was on there. That was in 2007. So she's not new. I wouldn't say she's a plant, but I think, like you said, she was willing to do things. At some point, she got sick and tired of being on that chitlin circuit. And she said, I'm willing to do some things. I remember when somebody made a point, how did she make it? And another person made a comment, she got one of them Jewish dudes.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say next.
And that's funny because she called herself Jewish.
Well, she's a Eritrean.
Yeah.
Eritreans call themselves Jewish.
She said she's Jewish. So she basically went and got one of them Jewish dudes, and her career was able to, grow a little bit. So, you know.
She started, doing interviews about sleeping with white men.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep. All of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. She.
That was her big thing. All of a sudden, the interracial aspect of her comedy. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, do you see this as a money grab at this point?
No. Yeah, it's a money grab because instead of them wanting justice once again, they're willing to settle for money. When you settle for money, that means that you don't want justice. It's a difference if you go after justice and you get your justice, and then like whatever happened, they say, well, we're gonna award you this money due to your suffering and pain. That's different.
Yeah. I'll say it's definitely looking like the fact that Tiffany Haddish and Aries went to the mother, ignored them, and went to the mother means they think that the mother is still the one who's pushing this lawsuit. So
yeah, it
is seem like it's about getting back at something. But let me move on to the next one.
Who is this rapper?
Okay,
I never heard of him.
You don't. I'm not gonna say he's not important. I don't want to say that. Who he is not necessary. We're gonna talk about a particular point with this case. So rapper PnB Rock killed after being shot multiple times in Los Angeles. He's a rapper. I know about a story. I just don't know who he is. He has a song called I Like Girls. With a song like I Like Girls, Who Like Girls. He was that type of rapper. He had a big hit a couple years ago.
What was the hit?
Look, I don't listen to his music. But his music is not what I want to talk about. He was in a dispute with a dude. He was in a restaurant.
This is in Los Angeles?
Yeah, with his girl. And somebody tried to rob him and they shot him. The police are saying that it's possible the reason why they knew he was there is because the girl he was with, his girlfriend, posted a picture of the food they were eating with the restaurant they were eating at, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So they're saying that the girl, maybe her, now this is the first story, she accidentally put the name of the restaurant they were at in the Instagram post. So that led to the dudes that want to rob him, that led them to him to try to rob him. The second part of that story is that him and the girl apparently were arguing. And when they went to the restaurant, they said she had never posted a picture of what they were eating at. She had never posted no stuff like that. All of a sudden, she posts that. And according to I'm not going to say it hasn't been verified. There's a guy who posted some messages with someone apparently close to her who said that she set it up for him to be robbed, but it went left.
And then there was another story where they said he posted where he was going before they even got there.
But the bigger thing about this is check-in culture.
Also, they said that she didn't have some. This is gossip.
This is gossip. I'm being honest, y'all. This is kind of gossip, but we need to talk about something.
She had no emotion. She wasn't crying, doing nothing after the attack or during the attack.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which would make a person believe that she had something to do with it.
George said, girl is a dummy. Then he said, he's a dummy too because 2 weeks prior she did the same thing and almost got him killed. Then she didn't want to go live. When she deleted her accounts now, he gone, so, you know. Yeah. The secret relationship between blacks and Jews, Louis Farrakhan. Oh, yeah. We know what the secret relationship is. It's a Pinocchio relationship. If you get, it's a Pinocchio relationship. Somebody got to control you. You too valuable. I mean, these people profit off of your music, your crime, everything. Everything
they always talking about they want you to go. They'll never let you leave.
Listen, if black Americans in this country decided we don't want to be a part of nothing that's considered black culture, just music, clothing, everything. We don't be part of none of it. We want to turn into what's those people that don't do with electronics? Not Mormons. I forgot their name.
To do with what?
Electronic. They don't do with no electronics.
Oh, Amish.
Amish. If black people decide to be Amish, you know how bankrupt a lot of companies would it would turn the whole economy upside down. Anyway, you get the point. But back to this.
But at one point they did a couple times they tried to get us to go.
They didn't try to get us to go.
Well, they said Abraham Lincoln wanted us to go to Panama. They had a place set up for us to go to Panama.
Well, there's a reason why you didn't go.
Yeah.
Because they really wanted you to go, you wouldn't be able to say no. The whites were divided on whether they wanted us to go. And some people who got whites and the people who got more power said they ain't going nowhere. Exactly. But what I want to talk about the real thing I want to talk about this is check-in culture. I saw Steven Jackson come out and say that he should have checked in. I check in everywhere I go because I want to live. And I go, wow. Only a black man
has to check
in to a state that you don't even run. You're not the governor. You're not the damn police chief. You're not the damn senator. But you can dictate because I'm wealthy and got a status. You can make me do something to check.
Do other races of people have to check into a state before they go there?
I've never seen it.
So black people before we go to a state. No,
not black people.
Well, black celebrities.
Not even black
male celebrities have to check into a hood or a city before they go there.
I got to go to a gang members, dap them up, take some pictures to give them some clout and give them some money.
But the Hispanics and stuff,
they can walk in your neighborhood.
So get to go in your neighborhood and do whatever they want to do to you, huh?
So when 6ix9ine, do he got to check in? Well, now he do got to check in because he was associated with the gang members. He was associated with them, so he did. So if you black, you're not associated with no gangs, but you in hip hop.
You got to check.
I got to check in. Oh, I'm in danger.
That's how Negroes are.
It's
unfortunate and it's sad.
Like, this is what we do though.
That's what we do.
This PnB Rock store has too many holes in it. It isn't he the Empire? Oh, there you go. See, you see Virginia? Virginia be on it. I was just about to say the Empire Records thing. Don't they take out insurance on their rappers? Exactly.
You worth more dead than you are alive.
Y'all brothers in my head, if black folks just decided to stop, game over. Exactly. But the part about Empire Records, so many of the rappers that's died over the last couple of years have been signed to Empire Records. And Empire Records have an insurance policy on every last one of them. So there's some people saying it's a theory.
This is not funny.
The dude who runs Empire Records, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me, is Arab. He's either Arab or some type of Hispanic. I'm pretty sure he's some type of Arab dude though. He basically profits whether you live or die, and your money become worth more. Your music become worth more now that you're dead. So PnB Rock, he's only been in the media the last couple of weeks because he's been the spirit of death has been on him. He's had his life threatened. He's almost gotten shot at a couple times. He had the spirit of death on him for the last couple of weeks. He didn't recognize it apparently. He still was doing reckless stuff. You need to stay home. But now that he's dead, his music is gonna stream more. Yeah. And guess who's gonna profit? Empire Records.
That pride sometimes gets in the way of.
It ain't gonna stop me from doing what I want to do. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. As a man, I should be able to say that, but I got to check in first.
If you have somebody threatening to kill you, or you've gotten threats or something like that, I think you would take some time to reflect on your life and
Why this person want to kill me?
Why this person want to kill me?
What am I doing to be in an environment where I can be killed?
Let me separate myself for a little bit. That's not being a punk or running. That's called being pro-life.
Exactly.
That's what it's called.
By the way, I forgot to mention this story here. Aries Spears, going back to this story right quick, he brought up his mother when he was talking about his career is probably over. He said, I feel like I've been blackballed anyway, so I thought my career was over. Now I don't know if I'm going to make it. But in the video, he tried to be more inspirational. He was like, you know, I'm going to get through this. The Phoenix going to rise. Basically, he was the whole Phoenix situation. He's going to rise from the ashes. And I started thinking, well, is it possible that this is a humiliation ritual for him as well? And it's going to lead to him either taking off or you look at the other. Hey, I don't know what it is, but people just don't like Aries. And he's funny though.
Maybe because he's maybe because he's just so disliked. This is what he had to do to elevate him to the next level.
He was in Shaq's All-Star Comedy. He's the one he's infamous not Dave Chappelle. His infamous actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Who what?
Malcolm X. Who played Malcolm X?
Denzel Washington.
His infamous Denzel Washington impersonation. Yeah. He did DMX. He had a funny special. He's known for that. That's probably one of his biggest moments of his career. But now people bringing up that he was kissing a white man by a pool in a sketch for Mad TV. So
they don't never go away.
They ain't going nowhere, bro.
You know, you have to make wise decisions in your career and know that when you decide to do certain things that it's going to come back and haunt you.
It definitely is. And part of the best actors and celebrities, they know what roles to say no to. Yeah. Even if that movie popped off, it might not have popped off with you. I saw what's that movie? Seven Deadly Sins, or what's it called? Seven Sins? Seven?
That's the one with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
Denzel Washington supposed to be in that movie. Yeah. Brad Pitt, and he said no to it. And he said he seen him regret it, but he was like, I messed up with that one. Maybe you didn't. He said the script seemed demonic. And it's like, well, it was demonic.
There he go, playing a role. You in a demonic industry.
Well, he's not really associated with it, is he? Huh? He has his own studio. He unassociated with them.
We know these celebrities conjure up
even though I remember there was
in order to play these roles.
There was a particular moment I remember seeing Denzel Washington leading an acting class. And there was one dude, do you ever see this?
Yeah, in the clip, we saw it.
There was one black dude in the crowd with the students.
Yeah.
He gave Denzel this look right in his eyes. And Denzel looked him right back in his eyes for about 2 or 3 seconds while he was talking. And I was like,
just the two of us.
They only saw each other at that moment. That's all I'm saying.
We can make it if we try.
Let me just show this right quick.
Because she said that. You're still.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. We're talking with a white man. There we go. Can't stay away from him.
Hold on. I got this casting to the TV. Let me change the sound. Let me know if it's too loud or not.
Evolving into your prime. And I thought that was interesting that you said.
Is it too loud, y'all? Let me know.
It's too loud.
No, in our ears. It sounds different for them.
It's too loud.
Let us know if it's too loud or not.
And my mother
echoed
it. Or better yet, she said it and you echoed it. Because I just went.
Just can't take it.
Just play it.
No, I can't play it. If it's too loud in your ear, I'm not going to bother playing it for them.
Well, they might want to hear it, though.
He said it was demonic. Yeah. Y'all let me know if that's too loud or not.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. As much as I'm nervous, as much as in the back of my mind, because I already felt like my career was over before all this. I felt I was blackballed and my shit was over. But I always said I felt like I was one thing away from the turnaround. But now with this, I'm almost certain.
Turn it down.
Nigga, I can
that
hear
tombstone is written. But something, and maybe this is me being naive. Maybe this is me being.
All right, you get the point. I'm just gonna move on from that. Basically, he's saying, he think he's gonna battle through. He's gonna protect his career and battle through. And I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna make it, man.
He's a soldier.
Let me show this one now. Hold on. What the?
Mr. Tim.
Don't be a pussy. Play that shit.
Who said that, George?
Well, y'all still can't hear our mics? Damn, bro, I thought the mics was loud.
They are loud.
Hold
Who
on.
said they can't hear that
Hold on,
mic?
George. You might got your shit low. I don't know if I could trust your opinion on this, bruh. Because you saying it's low, but I don't know.
It ain't no
bruh.
low. It's loud as hell. It's in my ear.
George might be trying to fuck us up.
Turn your radio up, George.
Hold on,
I would say
man.
turn your radio up.
Your radio. He said, bro, we had this talk. Yeah, we did have to talk about the sound, but you saying
Who said we had this talk?
George. We talked about this on Messenger, the sound. I turned it up, bro. But anyway, welcome to Sweetie Pie's owner conviction and murder for high scheme and Nephew's 2016
You know,
slam.
that's a rotten, dirty thing to do.
It's crazy.
He took his... It was for insurance money, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So y'all know the show Sweetie Pies.
Yeah.
What's her name? The lady, I think she used to be in Mr. Ike Turner's band.
Mm-hmm.
And she had she started her own restaurant chain.
Yeah.
Her son, Tim, was in prison. He got out of prison and she put him in
Well, see,
a priority position in her restaurant
Robbie
chains.
Montgomery.
Yeah, Robbie Montgomery.
So this is the one who was in prison.
Yeah.
He got out and killed
He
his
got out of
nephew.
prison. He got out of prison and she put him in to have your own nephew set up and kill over an insurance policy.
Crazy, bro.
And then your mama gonna be like, my own son took away my
Nephew.
grandson.
Yeah.
That's her grandson.
Yeah.
Which would mean that's his brother's kid or sister kid. I'm not sure which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's messed up.
And what's crazy is it happened. I won't say loud like we saw it, but it was on TV, reality show.
I mean, I fuck with Sweetie Pies.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, they got him for. There's no way he think it was worth. Like, what was the plan? I don't get it. What was the end game? Just
How
the
much money was it? I'm not sure. I mean, I know he started opening up. He opened up a restaurant in California, I think in the Soto district. Then he went down to Texas. I think he tried to open up another restaurant. And then he, sometimes they'll branch off of the name and name something else. He named one after his son, TJ. And that's why I think Miss Robbie was like, wait a minute, you can't take my restaurant and make a branch off of it and then open it up.
Now
Something after your son. That sounded to me like you would get ready to branch off and start doing your own stuff.
Now I gotta say this. They were on TV. They were part of the history of being in the industry. Was this a failed sacrifice?
Might have been.
I'm just saying. Maybe it ain't.
See,
look,
I'm really trying to give the whole family a benefit of the doubt. Because some people about to say Travis about to go off. He about to go left like he always do. Because I was at one point, I was like, was Miss Robbie involved in with it? And she really,
was Miss Robbie, was she just as much of a part of this as him? Possibly. I mean, the man was just getting out of prison.
We have no evidence to support that. I'm not going to throw that nice little old lady under the bus.
Look, okay, keep trusting them little nice. If they in the industry, I'm skeptical.
Yeah, Duke, you know what Duke did? Duke accused, you know how they say women outlive men?
Tell him. Go ahead, tell him.
This is how my Duke mind worked. Duke like, oh yeah, the women was outliving the man because grandma was secretly poisoning granddad's food and stuff.
Yeah. Hold on. Now, Regina's saying we're a little loud.
I know.
Well, Regina,
we are a little loud.
We're gonna have to be a little loud this episode. Turn this down a little bit, cause I can't do this live. I can't mess with the sound right now.
Yeah, we've been a little loud the whole episode.
I'm trying to step a little bit further away from the mic, trying to be a little quieter.
See, people who grew up not having earphones and sound really, cause I can't take a lot of sound. I'm not used to loud noises.
I'm used to loud.
Huh?
I'm used to loud. You got loud.
We used to
family.
being around loud people.
Yeah.
And I have to leave.
Okay. But yeah, she said Regina also said his brother's son and his brother was also murdered. So
Yeah.
it was a Jennifer Hudson situation.
Yeah. But you have to realize they from St. Louis.
Yeah.
So they're used to that same hood mentality of seeing family members die and being killed. I'm not gonna say not thinking much of it, but just thinking it's a culture, it's a lifestyle.
Well, that's not just St. Louis. That's Black American culture. Somebody gets
It
shot
ain't
in
my
our
culture.
family. When somebody in a black family gets shot, for most part, obviously if you're in the hood, the first question people ask is, "Did they live?" People go, "Yeah," and you go, "Oh, what happened?" Like, it's not necessarily the shooting. It's the did they die? Like, you're not even surprised that somebody getting shot. It's did they die?
Well, I'd be a little surprised somebody got shot.
Like, hey, I'm just saying. She said, I wanted to about a sacrifice. You watch the show and put it all in context. I agree.
Well, after that though, the show went off air.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of another celebrity, Nicki Minaj sued. Now we said when Tasha K was sued that
it was gonna start off a chain of other YouTubers getting sued.
now we did see a lot of threats. A lot of the celebrities and entertainers started threatening people with I'll sue. They didn't really sue. Nobody ever sued, but now we got another lawsuit apparently.
Oh, she got some inspiration from Cardi B,
Her rival.
Copying Cardi B.
Nicki Minaj sues YouTuber for Cokehead claims, hence that another performer is behind Slanderous post.
Is she trying to say it's Megan Thee Stallion?
I think you know exactly who she's saying it
I'm
is.
not gonna say Cardi B. I'm gonna say Megan Thee Stallion because that's who's been in the news. Her and Meg supposedly been going back and forth with one another. So I'm not gonna say Gertie. I'm gonna say Meg Thee Stallion.
Why is it always like that amongst the women? It's just
It's
like
drama
somebody- it's
and
just-
bickering and
Nicki Minaj sued a small-time celebrity gossip blogger Wednesday, saying she crossed
was
the
it?
line this week with cokehead accusations and suggesting that a mystery rival musician may be behind the account's barrage of slanderous posts. Filed in New York federal court, the lawsuit targets blogger Nosy Ho,
what? Hold on, wait a
channel
minute.
has just over 14,000 subscribers, named as Marley Green
come on.
in the lawsuit. Nosy Ho and LLC also maintains branded Twitter and Instagram accounts, each with fewer than 4,000 followers. Minaj is a frequent topic across platforms. And then they went on to explain Green
Wait
said
a
the
minute
videos-
though. Hold on. But then you also think that Nicki Minaj is the one that's behind Tasha K?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to. It's clear that Tasha K.
Oh, she in Africa too.
Oh, she gotta get up out of here. Look, she
You
got.
saw that where there was some stuff saying she went to Africa.
I ain't see that.
Yeah,
But-
supposedly she moved to Africa to keep from paying.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta
File
do.
bankruptcy.
We knew you didn't have the money,
leave the country.
or maybe you do got the money.
I
You
think
don't
she
want to
do got
give her the money.
It's just I ain't giving it to you, and I don't think it's her. I don't think it's her that's paying it.
Oh, somebody who said their money was very long.
I think somebody else is paying her legal fees for her.
Oh, the person in this article.
Oh yeah, but I think that goes in with people trying to get into the industry. Tasha K. I'm not gonna go far into this, but
Yeah.
I believe there was plans for her, and I think she was supposed to be Wendy Williams.
Poor Whitney Williams.
Man,
I'm just looking at the clock. Like when are we gonna get that article that she?
and people keep running up on her with phones and cameras. Like, leave that woman alone.
Yeah.
That woman look crazy. And then they still got her account frozen,
I believe
her
so.
bank account. Didn't we just see these fans
It's,
getting an uproar about Britney Spears getting off of that shit, and now they putting
now they put Wendy
on it?
Williams on it.
Wendy is getting put on it, and nobody's saying nothing.
Nobody's saying nothing because you know why? Because Wendy Williams fits right now. The way her behavior is, somebody who is not a three-dimensional person would say, "Well, she's acting crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Somebody needs to be
No,
doing that. Her ex-husband's probably taking her money. Her son is stealing
No.
from her. People around her. She needs that restriction.
Her ex-husband is her handler, and she's been programmed to self-destruct.
Yes.
Remember that? Didn't this all kind of start when she was dressed as a lady? She was dressed as a Statue of Liberty, and she passed out.
And she
Remember
passed
that?
out on stage.
And she grabbed her head. She didn't just pass out. She grabbed the back of her head like something was there, and then she just
Like a
passed out on the
chip?
floor. Sound like she's short-circuited, almost like what's his name? The guy who hosts the black dude that be hosting the New Year's Eve thing.
Al Roker.
Al Roker. Same thing happened to him. He just looking at somebody, and then he just and look at the camera.
Oh, you remember Hillary Clinton went jerking like?
Oh yeah, Hillary Clinton was doing the bankhead bounce.
The bank, like that white lady that was on Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
I can do the
bankhead bounce. Yeah,
that's what Hillary Clinton was doing.
Yeah, all those people was programmed and shit. But we can get into that. But Green says in the video that Minaj is shoving all this cocaine up her nose, allegedly. Thank you, allegedly. But we all know this is true. Listen, I can't even say allegedly with that because we know it's true.
I thought she liked.
I'm
the
not
perks.
saying allegedly on that. Nicki Minaj is a cokehead.
Damn.
So only thing I care about this story for is another entertainer suing a blogger. These gossip blogs, and this is going to leak over to other subjects. It's not just going to stay on the gossip stuff.
Politicians, that's what it's leading for, the midterms.
Now, we see with
started it, though.
YouTube is saying that when the midterms come, they're going to have a new policies. They already told me this January 1st, we got new policies coming. So, and then they got a new policy coming for the midterms. So,
which let me know they getting ready to rig up some shit. Like, you know, at the casino.
Come on, nigga, fix it.
Man.
Yeah, he'll let that ride. Fuck it. Cardi B admits orchestrating NYC strip club attack, throwing bottles near sister. So she
got 15 days of community service. So this should have been taking more of a serious crime.
Well, I think
what is this called? This is like putting a hit on somebody.
Yeah, I think they said she paid 2 people $5,000.
That's nothing.
To beat up on a woman who said that she was messing around with what's his name?
It was men.
Yeah.
She had men go beat up.
But the crazy part to me is she also admitted that she was drugging
black
and
men,
robbing them, and she was drugging them and tricking them to be with trannies, and that kind of we're just moving away from that stuff.
And do you not only that? I think there was an article where it says that the court staff was cheering for her.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
When she pleaded guilty and they gave her what she got to do sentence, they cheered. And you just go,
wow, y'all people
cult
are
of
crazy.
Personality, man. That cult of personality. He said, I'm not complaining. Loud is good, better than or no volume. Exactly. Thank you very much for that. It seems like Hollywood is experiencing another type of reset. It do seem like they're trying to change the guard, right? Like they're trying to replace certain people with new people coming in, but it's not really working as smoothly as it normally would. It's after Wendy said she wasn't getting the syringe, it was downhill after that. Hey,
you know, even though Wendy Williams has, you know, definitely had her share of gossiping and putting down people, you kind of feel bad for people.
Well, your natural empathy, you know.
Because we know this storyline with her is not going to end well.
Yeah.
But you know what? They knew what they do. They know what they're doing when they decided to go into
sign
the
contract.
They know what they get themselves into.
You want fame and money and glory, and you get it. And
I don't want it. I don't want fame, money, and glory.
At some point, you got to pay it back.
I'll wait to get mine.
It's only
in another life.
You're only rich. You're only wealthy. You're only famous on this earth, in this physical plane. You got to worry about the other stuff too, man.
The judgment.
This don't last forever. You could be rich from the age of 0 to 100. That's not a forever.
You can't buy your way into heaven.
Like how they say in the South, forever is a mighty long time.
Forever and ever.
Forever is a mighty long time.
Imagine being tortured forever and ever.
Yeah, man. Hi, what up, Mystery Man? You knew?
You knew, Mystery
I saw
Man?
your name
I could have
before.
sworn you been in here. You might like you added an N on.
I don't know, Mystery Man. I think you not new, but what up, man? How you doing, bruh?
Somebody pretending like they knew, just add another N on.
I do remember Mystery Man. I don't know if that's you.
They didn't have that extra N though.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But
I'm gonna say, man, let me get out of here.
Let me get the fuck out of here with these bullshit, motherfucker. Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver is suspended, fines $10 million after investigation finds conduct clearly violated workplace standards.
So what did he violate?
So the owner of the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury, I think that's their name, the WNBA team, they made sure to point that out. He was reciting people's words. He said the N-word. So I guess somebody said it and he said it back what somebody else said to somebody else. He wasn't saying it of his own fruition.
The outrage.
He was saying what somebody else said, and apparently he was inappropriate with some of his female staff.
Go to New York.
Huh?
Go to New York.
What you mean?
And see how many white people be walking around saying the N-word.
Oh yeah.
You'd be surprised.
That's what the Puerto Rican dude said in the last video. He said, "Look, man, where I'm from, everybody said it. In New York, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, they all said it, and it's just normal." And then when he said when they step outside of New York, people looking at them like they're crazy. Like, what's wrong with you? So
hands and feet get put on people.
Get put out there, boy. But I want to say Chris Paul. I don't know if y'all know NBA
but that's
player.
just black people being emotional.
Yeah. I want to say, I don't know if y'all know NBA player Chris Paul. He played for the Clippers when the owner of the Clippers went on that rampage with the girl on the phone where he was saying how I give these people money and make them wealthy. I take care of their families. And he basically was telling her not to bring any black people. I'm sorry, not to bring up any of her black male friends to the games with her. She was his side chick, and she would bring her male friends with her to the game sometimes. He was like, "Don't bring any black ones," and she was like, "Why?" You know.
Was she black or white?
No, she was weird looking. I don't know if she was Asian, Mexican, or some type of mixture. I don't know.
Ambiguous looking.
Yeah, and she was like, "Why?" And she recorded him, and he basically went on this rampage about how, you know, he do all this stuff for her and how he does all this stuff for his black players and he takes care of them, basically talking to them like a plantation owner. That's what these NBA teams really are.
Yeah, that's what they are.
And Chris Paul played on that team, and now he played for the Phoenix Suns, and another owner getting caught up. Look, man, and I don't know if it's you. I don't know how you get caught up in these situations. We know all the owners feel this way, but you keep running into owners that say it. Like, it's just bad luck, bruh.
Well, they feel like they taking care of them
when they do make them millionaires. The problem is, I make you hundreds of millions of dollars just by being on the court. He said, while the NBA stated that Sarver cooperated fully with the investigative process, Lee sources told ESPN Braxton Holmes that Adrian Wilanowski that he was unaccepting of the idea that he deserved a 1-year suspension and $10 million fine for his behavior. The punitive part of the process became largely acrimonious, sources said. The investigation led by New York-based law firm Winstell Lipton found that Sarver engaged in conduct that clearly violated common workplace standards as reflected in the team's league rules and policies. He said, while I disagree with some of the particulars in the NBA's report, I would like to apologize for my words and actions that offended our employees. Listen to how you say this. Sarver said in a statement through the Suns, I take full responsibility for what I have done. I'm sorry for causing this pain and these errors in judgment and not consistent with my personal philosophy or my values. I accept the consequences of the NBA's decision, this moment, and an opportunity for me to demonstrate a capacity to learn and grow and continue to build a working culture where every employee feels comfortable and valued. He made sure to let you know you work for me.
Hey,
I'm the owner. Oh, they don't call them owners no more. They call them governors. They call them governors because owner sounds. Draymond Green came out a little while ago and said, I ain't got no owner. Why they call them owners? That sounds some slave stuff. It's like, nigga, you chose to go to the NBA. Now they call them governors. It hasn't.
See, this the problem with y'all niggas.
You can't join somebody else's shit and want to
change their terminology to make you feel comfortable. The man says he's an owner. He is an owner.
Exactly.
You want him to change his title to make you feel comfortable?
Exactly.
That man probably like,
I'm an owner of the team. This is my team.
This is my team. I'm the owner. I own you.
No, I don't own you. Here's the thing. You're not a possession. You're a contractor. You work for them for a certain amount of time. Your contract ends. You can go to another.
But you
place.
work for me.
Each team is a different business. A different corporation. Well, the NBA is the corporation, but each team is a different part of it.
That man like, shut your mouth.
And Mystery Man said, "Hi." He said, "LOL, just kidding. Love you." I recognize that name, bro. Like, come on, bro. You know, I'm slick. I'm quick with it, man. Don't try to play me like that. All right, speaking of the NBA, Kyrie Irving shares unhinged Alex Jones clip about secret societies and engineered plagues. Let me say this. This is the Daily Beast.
Kyrie is acting off of his second personality.
Kyrie got about 6 of them.
Chaos,
but here's
or
the thing.
What he's either a hippie or he's chaos.
Well, Kyrie Irving, that's really the system we're under in society right now, which is destroy everything, replace everything. It's chaos. Out of chaos comes perfection. That's what they believe. Which is valid. By the way, that is the theory of evolution. if you listen to the theory of evolution, they tell you that there was an explosion that happened, and it led to the creation of what we see now. Well, nothing. That's a basic science. You can't get something from nothing. It has to already exist.
What bugs me is when these people do these articles, or people talk about, oh, the Kyrie Irving, he put out Alex Jones clips about secret societies. He's in the truth. He knows what he's involved in.
He's involved in it.
This is his part. He has to play.
And this is part of the thing that really it caught me when I was younger. When you would see, like, for instance, what I believe, the truth I believe, I would see a celebrity say it, and it would be like, "Oh my God, they know it too."
That validation.
Yeah, exactly. You look for validation from people with bigger names and larger platforms. But
now you do your own research, you know what's going on.
You ain't about that shit either.
You don't need nobody's validation.
So, like, when you hear people say who we are as black people, you go, "Oh man, this is amazing. The truth is coming out." The truth, no, it's been out. It's been out. But Kyrie, this is the crazy part. Kyrie Irving tweeting this is kind of strange because he played with the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James. And we know the stuff he's caught up into with the four, LeBron, Carmelo, Wade, and Chris Paul, the foursome. The four horsemen.
LeBron own a pizza shop too, right?
Let me say this.
You can get all types of toppings.
My favorite player, basketball player, is LeBron James. But I can very clearly see who he is. I saw him get on stage and tap dance for Hillary Clinton. I saw when that boy got
a lot of them done it.
When that little boy got killed in Ohio, and he said, "I'm praying for my city." Like, what? I'm praying for my city. Your city don't need prayer, nigga. Your people need prayer. What the hell's wrong with you? But I separate the basketball from the person. But I do know.
See, that's what's hard for me is to separate the artistry from the individual.
I do it easily.
I can't do it.
I can do it easily.
Nah, let me take that back.
For certain people, it's easy.
For certain people, it's easier. For others, it's harder. But I really have a hard time separating the two.
Okay, Kyrie Irving, unfortunately, this is the Daily Beast. If I'm not mistaken, the Daily Beast is supposed to be, I thought, supposed to be right-leaning, ain't it?
And when he got his finger up to the sky, he ain't talking about the Most High.
Let me see. That's another thing I learned. When you see people get on stage and say, "I want to thank God,"
he talking about the God of his industry.
God is just a rule. That just means ruler.
He talking about Pan, Bacchus.
Yeah.
All those other type of deities. He ain't talking about the Most High.
And we know Kyrie Irving worships he follows the same system as Kobe Bryant. He worships the principle of the mother goddess, the feminine. What's the word? Jesus Christ. He worships the feminine side of the spirituality. So he's part of the Kobe system. If you go watch the video of Kobe Bryant called the Kobe System, where he talks to kids about how they should actually look inward to their dark side to learn to grasp that dark side.
And when they gave him that little special on PBS Kids,
that's what I'm talking about. I think I'm talking about that. Yeah.
What's it called? The Mamba.
Yeah, Mamba mentality.
He had a little character called the Mamba.
Yeah, look up Kyrie Irving. I mean, that's a Kyrie Irving. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, and how he explained to kids how you should actually look to your darker side to get better at stuff.
Wicked.
See, a lot of these people in the industry are witches and warlocks, and we always say that. But there's some of them think that they're good witches. Some of them think they're good warlocks. There's some of them that think they're the good ones, and the other ones think they're the bad ones.
They're just playing two different roles.
It's duality. It's all the same thing. They just have to act like it's different. But unfortunately, shared a 2002 InfoWars video on Thursday in which mega conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist, that's a CIA term, by the way. That was created about secret societies, corrupt empires, and government overlords supposedly wanting worldwide rule in a cashless society, total and complete tyranny. Jones, who has been sued by victims' parents, we know all this stuff. And by releasing diseases and viruses and plagues upon us, we then basically get shoved into their system. Irving has previously come under fire for being anti-vax and pushing unfounded health information.
Look at the labels they put on you.
So you're anti-vax, you're conspiracy theorist,
MAGA supporter.
Yeah. Like, there's so many names they got for you.
Hell, conservative. Anything. This is what the progressives and the liberal and the Democratic Party has done.
I had a dude in the comments. Shout out to you if you watched this. He asked me. He asked us to speak on the show or the documentary done by Larry Elder called Uncle Tom, where Larry Elder basically goes throughout history and talks about the political views, the cultural views that Black people had prior to the 1960s and stuff like that. And this whole documentary is basically saying the people that we're calling coons aren't coons. And I go, well, that's not 100% accurate. There are people who have share some of those views who are what we call company men. If every time I see you, whatever topic it is, you making it about something negative about Black people, there's a difference between holding yours accountable and making.
I definitely hold Black people accountable.
There's a difference between doing that and making every single thing the opposite of what you think Black people will think. Like Candace Owens, we're gonna talk about her later. Remember when she came out when Trump was saying how he's gonna make Juneteenth a holiday, and she came out on social media and said, "This is great. This will be fantastic." He didn't do it, and then Biden made Juneteenth a holiday, and she's like, "Juneteenth? Why would I want that? I support July 4th." And you
Patriotism.
It's just like that's so fake. That's what we talk about when we say that's a coon, because they're not standing on what they actually believe. There are some people who are conservative who are Black, who have an idea of wanting better for their people, who just have a different viewpoint on it. And that's different from saying stuff that you know is simply going to get you a certain audience to listen to you. Like I listen to some people who get on YouTube now, because if you're a Black dude and you talk about Black people and you talk about being conservative and you react to Thomas Sowell and all them, you'll get 100,000 views easy. I've seen it. I've seen people that average 1,000 views a video react to Thomas Sowell, and all of a sudden they got 500,000, 500,000, 2 million views on the video.
Jealous.
I'm not jealous. I'm just saying it's so crazy how, and mainly white people, how they want you to like that dude so bad that if you a Black person and you say something about that dude, they will give you views. And then you see how easy it is for these people to, become that side of politics where they'll just start saying stuff just to get the views. It was one dude who he started doing that type of hustling, the Black conservative hustle, where he asked for money to go to a Trump rally. I said, wait, isn't that completely against the conservative view? Isn't that the bootstrapism you're supposed to believe in? You asking people for GoFundMe to go to a Trump rally.
Did he give him the money?
They gave him the money.
That's all the man worried about.
And then you realize the hustle was strong over there because remember the twins?
The Haagen-Dazs.
Hodge twins.
Hodge twins. Why I call them Haagen? Is that an ice cream?
It's a bread roll in it.
Haagen-Dazs. That's ice cream.
Yeah, that's ice cream. I'm thinking about Hodge rolls.
I never call people by their real name. I always give them a nickname.
Larry Elderly. Yeah. But yeah, the Hodge twins, they did. Well, I'm not gonna say they changed their views, but they went from just a comedy channel that just did comedy skits to political comedy. What the hell?
Well, they decided to broaden their audience and
they changed.
Talk about topics that interest them more.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, this whole title thing they're giving Kyrie, even though we know he's in there. He be in LA too. We know you go to LA, you gotta be down with the orgies, everything. That's where Hollywood
Kyrie
is.
said, mind your business.
That's why it was funny earlier this year.
Stay out of his love life.
A couple weeks ago, they were talking about Kyrie Irving being traded to the Lakers. I said, oh, it's going to be going down in L.A., boy. I just go to the next one. Woman King.
Oh, shout out to Tone Talks. He did a live the other day on boycott the Woman King.
Yeah, that's been trending. I'm showing this to show. This is the person who wrote it.
The whole boycotting thing is getting old.
It ain't working.
If you don't identify with it and you don't want to watch it, then just don't go watch it.
Isn't that a form of boycott?
That's a form of boycott, but at the same time, I mean, I can understand him trying to awaken Black Americans and expose the film and, where it came from and this, but at the same time, it's just like...
Expose what film?
The Woman King.
Oh, okay.
About, the Dahomey Kingdom in Benin.
Yeah.
We've already told you who that is.
We already told you who that is.
That's Nigeria. They tell you that Benin, when Nigeria was once called Benin.
It also was called the Kingdom of Yehuda. Or Judah. Yeah.
Benin?
No, not Benin. Not Benin. But there was a kingdom there called Kingdom of Yehuda. Okay. I think that's how they call it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the whole boycotting thing is...
Well, it's kind of work. I mean, all these movies they say they on boycott, none of them did that well. in the box office.
I mean, me personally, no, I don't think. I mean, I can't tell nobody they shouldn't go watch it.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
I'm not interested either because we know it's about wokeism. Every movie, everything now is just terrible.
No, I'm not doing it. Don't do that. Don't give them the word woke. I'm not letting them take it.
Like
we give them all these other words. I'm not letting them take woke.
Like the movie out with Queen Latifah and Ludacris on Netflix. The End of the Road, Till the End of the Road. I watched that, and of course, Queen Latifah. It was just so weird. There's a particular scene where the daughter, two white guys, again, was trying to holler at the daughter. They would come out of the gas station, and she gave them the middle finger. They chased her down the road, and by the way, in the store they had a statue of Trump. So that town was conservative, racist, white people. They were Trumpers, MAGA city. So there was already democratically influenced Netflix liberalism. And then they, harassed them, stopped them, pulled them over. Ludacris wanted to get out of the car and go defend them, but Queen Latifah says, "No, I'll do it." So there you go. Once again, the black man cannot protect the family. The black woman has to do it because she fears for the black man's life. He's going to be killed, so she has to go out and handle the situation because he doesn't know how to diffuse the situation. She has to do it.
Well, they also say this because naturally, when a black man stands up, it's automatically seen as more threatening.
Which is what she implied.
Yeah. So you got a situation where whenever I've seen this with my own two eyes, you'll have a situation where the cops come up and the man start talking and it gets real tense real quick, and the woman has to step in between the man and the cop and to try to diffuse it because naturally he's seen as more of a threat.
And there's another scene where she's with another group of racist white dudes. She gets chained up. I mean, she gets out of this. There's a knife laying next to her, and she beats all their asses. And I'm like, come on. Queen Latifah is don't get me wrong. She's an Amazon looking.
Yeah, she's a big woman.
She's big, but she's not just,
What did I say like 2 weeks ago? I said they're trying to make Queen Latifah the new action star because she's like 50.
The Equalizer.
I said Equalizer being a TV show and then making her the star. I said, wait.
Ain't that what they do to black women when they get like in their 50s?
They're doing it with the Woman King, Viola Davis.
She's in her 60s now.
And she's doing workouts to doing the action movie. And it's like, look, get your money.
But we have to say that's amazing for her to be her age and she getting able to be fit and getting
that's what I'm saying.
roles.
Like she was looking like she was, about 40 years old. She looked great. But,
But anyway, back to the Woman King.
Exactly. Somebody said, nah, bruh.
No Cash App.
No Cash App.
No.
We don't, no. But this is the woman here. This is the woman here who was co-wrote it.
They don't want to take money. Who paying
them? Yeah, somebody else paying them.
We know they plant. They said they was from military base.
No, hold on. Don't put that out. We not from a military base. we grew up. See, now you done brought that back up again, Regina.
Here I go.
We said last time we lived near a military base. We grew up on
Regina's brain is tingling.
Yeah, she's like, hold on. But yeah, this is one of the people who co-wrote it. So I'm seeing when people were talking about boycotting, you saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, y'all don't want this movie to succeed because it features a dark-skinned black woman as the lead character." Oh,
here we go.
They did it.
That's really what they did.
I can't believe they did it that quick. It was like, damn.
Well, we have to show some sensitivity for that because
it's some reality to it, but not
that's
reality.
Not
to
my
this
reasoning
movie.
Behind it.
No, I'm saying it's reality to that being a thing that happens, but not in this case.
You know what was crazy? Viola Davis should have been in the Harry Tubman movie that Cynthia.
That's what everybody said.
Erivo was in, but they switched. They gave her the woman
and gave her the African role.
Cynthia, she should have been the Woman King.
Now they got a movie coming.
That's where she comes from.
Now they got a movie about Whitney Houston coming out, and it's a British woman acting out the role, and it's just like y'all keep doing. And we're gonna get to that soon. But somebody, Juice Man, what up? He said, "Yo, what's up, family? My bad, I've been slipping, but y'all know I watch every episode. Stay up, stay up, bruh." He said, "I'm in the scene. In that scene, Queen Latifah implies that he is active in the streets, but still act like he can't protect them." Exactly.
Yeah.
So he bout that life, but you don't think he can do it though.
But don't get me wrong, I thought the movie was good. Out of a 10, and this is I have very high. I give it a 7, 6 or 7.
I saw people. I ain't watching. Somebody.
It was like a black family action movie. I will say in the end, Ludacris's role, they did give him a little where he was able to be a man.
He didn't get emasculated the whole movie.
But still, She had to go off, and Queen Latifah had to go off by herself, be the
Superhero.
head honcho, and go whoop people's ass.
Yeah.
Put people in the dirt.
In the dirt. Gucci man. But yeah, I saw people across social media saying that movie was just, they said, man, Netflix ain't telling nothing about this movie. Then they said, well, I wish they didn't because it's ass.
It wasn't that bad. To me, it wasn't that bad.
Well, I don't know. They said, I guess they might have had a more stronger opinion on those scenes you're talking about. It made them not
Well,
like
I think that's probably what made, but I'm so used to it, to the Mary.
Yeah, you just kind of go,
what they
all
call
right,
them,
man.
Mary Sue?
Yeah.
We so used to the Mary Sues that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Shout out to Nas, it's Nascar 316. What you say? I about that like I ain't here, but you kind of paused, so it's there now. Let's see what she had to say about Woman King.
I think the reason why the Woman King is important is because it's historical and it's real. And, this is absolutely no disrespect to those projects. They serve a different purpose, which is equally as important. But to know that we're not just a fantasy and that we are a reality is extremely, extremely important. And that's what I think.
So basically, in this, they never talked about. He said one of the on one hand, the actress said the Woman King is historical. It's real, but when promoting this movie, they never discussed the real history that the Dahomey were African slave traders. This movie does not sit right with my soul. Now, there was another person who responded to. There was a person who put out a tweet. They talked about the Whitney Houston movie and all that stuff. Let me show this right quick. This is a scene in the movie. And you saw that word butt broken.
The ludicrous role.
This is how they presented one of the men in the movie. This is one scene, so I haven't watched the movie. So I'm not saying this is all characters. I'm saying this is one scene.
The throne. What did you do? Locked yourself in a cupboard.
What?
The throne.
Wow.
So,
this is Africa?
This is Africa. Yeah. This is
he got his head thrown back, his arm, and this is what?
Shoulders dropped, everything. This is I thought
Wow,
most of the men in the film look weak and docile, effeminate, and buck broken. I thought he was a eunuch.
Ludacris didn't look like this in the movie.
I thought he was a eunuch. I'm pretty sure that guy has to be a eunuch. I mean, that's the only way that makes sense. This right here, this is Niles Ross. He said Lupita when she found out the truth about the Dahomey Kingdom. Let me show y'all this right here.
And here is her reaction to finding out.
Hold on.
The truth of the Dahomey Amazons.
Y'all let me know if this too loud, if it sounds poorly. Just let me know. You hear that? Like a...
Yes, but play it, dude.
Martine's great-grandmother Yaga was enslaved, but remained on African soil. On the beach at Ouida is a memorial. It bears witness to the fate of thousands of prisoners that the warrior women captured by order of the kings to be sold to Europeans into the transatlantic slave trade.
It's all there.
And it bears witness to the over 2 million women and men who from the 17th to the 19th centuries were loaded onto slave ships here on what came to be called the slave coast of Africa.
So as you can see, they show Lupita.
Lupita didn't give a damn.
Which is fun because she's from North Africa. Her family is from North Africa. That's what she said. Obviously, they ended
I
up...
thought she was from Kenyan.
No. She said her family is North African originally. And then it came down to Kenya. And obviously, they ended up moving to Mexico where she was born. But she said her family members, like her ancestors, originally are from Northern Africa.
Mm.
So it makes sense since how you got Carthage up there, the main people who went against Rome at one point with a thorn in Rome's side. We know those were black people because I forgot the guy's name who went against Rome. I got his name on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember right now, but yeah. So she said she's Northern African. So apparently, her people were kidnapped, right? Didn't they say that?
Whose people?
Lupita. That's what.
Maybe so.
That's the point of her crime.
I can't say. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
But that's in Ghana, right?
Huh?
Ain't that in Ghana?
Yeah. Well, this is the coast, slave coast. That would be Benin and all those places.
Benin is Nigeria.
There's an actual country
named Benin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In Togo, yeah.
It was very emotional, very overwhelming to consider that side of the story, you know?
So this is why she wasn't in a Woman
That's
King.
what I'm about to say. Did she choose not to do that movie because she knew
the history behind the woman, the Amazon women? So that's why she didn't take the role.
Yeah, it's funny because the last ship that left Africa and came to America brought a man here. I can't remember his name right now. He actually is the one who founded little African town in Alabama. He was actually captured by these women, Amazonian women, and in his book, he said that he was captured by them and sold. So it's crazy that they didn't put that side. Apparently, they didn't put that side of the story into the movie. From what I've heard, they said they made the women against slavery, how they went against the other kingdom, the OYO, the Oyo kingdom, who were pro-slavery, and they said that the women were the ones who were trying to abolish it. They made the women, the Amazonian women, they made them
the good people.
The good people. Crazy.
I've heard a lot about the valor of the Gojier, how unstoppable they were, but until now.
No, not Constantine. His name is not Hannibal. Is it not Hannibal? Is it Hannibal?
It's Hannibal.
Hannibal. That just came to me immediately. Yeah, Hannibal. Not Constantine, Hannibal.
Yeah.
Hannibal of Carthage.
Carthage. They have a documentary on the History Channel.
And they made him black.
And they made him black this time.
Now they saying they did that for just what they call it, theatrical purposes.
Wokeism, including diversity.
Yeah, this
people
diversity.
of color.
The story was, they're not saying this is actually how you look. No, that's how you know that's how you look. That's exactly how you look. But yeah, Hannibal of Carthage. Who's the one who went against
Some of the
Rome.
people were Shemitic. Some of them were Hermetic.
Exactly.
Like the Phoenicians.
Yep. A lot of them went up. So we can go into this. We're going to go into this later. Something I didn't get to show you. The Stone of Destiny. I got even more on that. I think it's something you had already said that we've got on it. But yeah, so they showed this right here. And I think that's probably the reason why she denied being a part of that movie. Yeah. Halle Bailey's Little Mermaid is already...
It deserves y'all gonna hate me, call me a coon, I don't care. It deserves every bit of racist backlash it gets from these white people. They could have took this movie, if they wanted to, they could have made their own black Little Mermaid, made it a totally different story plot line and did everything. But they just gonna give black little girls scraps. Gonna take a story and just replace it with a black little girl and call it Little Mermaid. No,
but yeah,
give them a whole new direction, a whole new different movie.
He kept the king white and he kept his son that she falls in love with white. So it's like the movie Cinderella when they did Brandy and Whitney Houston, but you kept the prince white. Like
these white people give them hell every time they change stuff. Give them hell.
They is too.
Because if it was us, we would do the same thing.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about them replace. What if they were joking about this too? The conservatives. They said we're gonna do a Malcolm X movie and we're gonna get Matthew McConaughey to play Malcolm.
That's a little too far.
Oh, no, they're not asking. They were joking. They saying you replace. Now that's a different, like you saying. That's a historical, real person versus a fictional fantasy character.
Exactly.
But they were making the point. We don't want you in our movies. Basically, this is equal to us. Our fantasy is equal to your real. George said it was your mic switch is too low. Now I got a fan on. I got a fan on the can. Here, y'all. When it was 103 degrees 3 days ago, I had to turn off my fans are here. I said never again. So good job. But it's not the bigs. Hey, you said you turn that fan off. Oh, it's not. Let me see this one here. It's loosely based on the truth. I hate when they do these movies and try to pass off as accurate history.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, give them hell. Every time they change something up, Disney's little slave girl.
Hey, that's a good point. When you be real about it, what is she really representing?
You saw where they changed her picture and put a
made
white woman.
Watermelon.
No, the watermelon, and they said, "Oh, what is she gonna be down there with fried chicken?" And I couldn't do nothing. Say, give them hell every time they try to change something. Give them hell.
They did the same thing with Pinocchio. They added a black female Pinocchio character. Not the main character is not a black female, but they made another side character who's
somebody actually changed
woman.
her face. They made a person look like, anybody know who the actress Brittany? Is it Brittany White or Brittany Snow?
They made a white girl, yeah.
Her name, she looked like Brittany White or Brittany Snow. I can't remember her last name. She's an actress.
But they kept her voice. And somebody be like, wait, so you don't have a problem with her singing? You just got a problem with her being...
Well, no, they love to hear you dance, perform, and shuffle and jive for them. They like your voice. They just don't like your face.
It's intersecting how all of these years Wonder Woman and white women representing Amazon women. Now we have Amazon women being depicted as African, and there's no conversation about the discrepancy. Yeah, well, the women who are representing the ones in Africa were African. These women were not called. They call them Amazonian women now, but they were originally called the women warriors or whatever they call them. But they got the nickname Amazonian warriors because they were women who had a all women military. But funny enough, and I don't mean to do this, but they boost up about these women and how they fought, and all this stuff, but they lost to the French.
Here you go, tearing down the African women.
I'm not turning them down. They lost twice.
Can't ever let a woman rise.
They lost twice easily to the French. Obviously, they had guns. So it's like, in reality, they really could only go against themselves.
Male chauvinist.
Not chauvinist. What up, Brian? What up, man?
Dude, get with 2020, 22. This is not the 70s, 60s, 90s.
So I'm a caveman now.
You're a caveman.
All right.
With your beer. And your football and basketball.
Brewster's beer. All right. Now I want to show this. Now, they got a lot of backlash going against her for playing the mermaid. We saw what's going on with the the Rings of Power on
Give them hell
Amazon.
for the Rings of Power too,
they
white
mad
people.
As hell that they got
Give them hell.
Black dwarfs and trolls or whatever they call them.
And you know what? There's a video that you had on the other day where it was a white man doing a review on it, and he had a video of the black dude playing an elf.
He said he liked him,
but he was mocking Chinese people. He was doing Asian face.
Yeah.
And he said, "What if this was a white man doing this to a black man? How would it be perceived?" And I can't lie, it would have got backlash about it. So he can't. No, you can't be talking about racism.
But who would have got backlash from? Black people.
What? Yeah.
So if people are mad about what he did, it should be Asian people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if that video would go viral and be Asian people becoming minorities in this day, they definitely would say, "Hey, we got another win, folks. See, it's been out here for years."
Oh, yeah,
nobody ever noticed it because it was yellow. I mean,
gold.
Gold people.
They don't want to be yellow no more. They want to be gold. All right, let me show you what Matt Walsh. He came out in this mermaid thing. This is how you know there's some people who are just they talk in code. They won't flat out say we don't want these niggas in our movies. They talk about they start talking around it and start sounding crazy. This man said it's not scientific to believe that dark skinned people be in the ocean. You're like, what? Niggas can't swim, huh?
I can't swim.
That's damn. Oh, I try to teach him, but yeah. Let's move on. Oh, now I want to load up. Okay, hold on. Let me.
I love being a stereotype.
A stereotypical nigga. You just love it, don't you?
I'm a stereotypical Negro. Can't swim. All I do is eat watermelon and fried chicken.
It is a case of white erasure. All forms of art,
of course,
including
vegan
fairy
fried chicken. Vegan fried chicken, cauliflower.
That ain't chicken. I'm sick. That ain't chicken. But anyway, listen what he had to say.
All right, Max Winter says, a black actor playing the Little Mermaid really is a case of white erasure. All forms of art, including fairy tales, are meant to be reflections of the author's experiences and observations. Hans Christian Andersen probably based The Little Mermaid based on experiences he went through in his home country of Denmark, so it makes sense that most of his characters would be white, since that's the world and the people he was surrounded by.
And Denmark is still white.
Well, it wasn't always white.
It's now white.
I mean, that's according to, historical documents. It was those places. I'm not even getting to that right now.
There you go again. White people say everything, and now everything was black.
Brian said those images women got slaughtered in a few hours. Yeah, it was bad for them. be a part of the movies instead of making our own. That's another thing. We got so many stories. You don't need to be a part of it. That's why I will say I watched that movie Nope finally. And I will say something. This is something I will say about Jordan Peele. He don't do stereotypical movies about black people. He obviously does a little bit of race stuff. Even in Get Out, it was a racial movie, but it was in a different context. It was explained differently. It was differently done. Nope, it's not racial, but it is. If you watch it, you see certain stuff happen, and the predicament that they're in is not typical to black movies. It's just not a typical movie. I will say that. He kind of does a little bit out of the box stuff. Regina said Ocean and Yamina comes to mind. Mermaid and Disney definitely utilizing indigenous mythologies, just not U.S. Well, all these mythologies tend to go back to Babylon. That's really where it go back to, or the Kemetic teachings and all that stuff.
We could say the west coast of Africa.
Well, yeah, that too. That's
why. But the crazy part is talking about Little Mermaid. It should be a black woman, Little Mermaid. To be quite honest with you.
Well, it's funny because the sailors, they say that the mermaid was this deity that was in the ocean that would sing and convince these sailors to come into the water.
Siren,
yeah, you said it right. So it was like you go out into the water and you get the crazies, what they call it. Like you just want to jump into the water.
Like that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I love that movie. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Basically, they get into the water, these sailors, and they look at the ocean. They just want to jump in it because they're saying the sirens or the mermaids is calling them. But yeah, if you look up Ogun, the west coast of Africa, it's a religious deity. If you look up Ogun and then look up Pan,
they're the same.
It's the same person. And that's
all they did was just go every culture has
replaced the names of the same character. It's the
same person, but a different name.
And they take certain aspects of those gods or deities and they make that into a god.
That's why they'll say Greek, Latin. What's the other one?
Roman. Yeah.
Kemetic.
Norse mythology.
Norse mythology. That's the Denmark, Norway.
Yeah, all those places.
Yeah, those places.
Yeah. So all these guys, Germany. So
Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
That would be Norse. The last one you said.
Yeah, Norse mythology. Yeah, but a lot of these people represent different aspects of these deities. Like you'll have somebody like Pan, who's the goddess of dance and wine and revelry. He's also the god of fertility. There's different aspects to all these gods, and these different gods are used to worship in different ways. But let's go ahead and watch this.
Yeah, I'm given the way that we deal with these sorts of issues, I'm sympathetic to that. Now, I would be fine, like we talked about yesterday. We don't have to rehash the entire thing, but if we all agreed that race in films and TV shows, especially fictional stories, don't matter, and we're going to take a kind of colorblind casting approach, and it doesn't matter as long as the actor is good. If we could all agree on that, then I'd be on board. And as I said, that's basically what it was for many years, what it was back in the 90s. But
what? Dude, they be lying. If you go back and watch those older movies, white people play. First off, it took a while for women to get in Hollywood because men used to play the women and the men.
Well, they did that back in the day.
The early 1800s, even before that, plays and all those Shakespeare's time.
They still do that in
certain theater plays and stuff.
In the Middle East.
Yeah. The Middle East will get into that. Little boys.
The Middle East is just literally like Thailand. They like lady boys.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same thing, except it got a little Muslim sprinkled on it. But they did. It took them a while to let women into these movies.
If you go
ahead.
I'm gonna tell. If you go on YouTube, there's actually a white man who's in the military who was in Afghanistan. He talks about that.
Yeah,
the Middle East men being with
little boys.
Because in their culture, the women are not allowed to dress up and be whores.
Yeah.
So they have little boys, dress up and be
like
prostitutes.
Pretty much.
Which is crazy. So I'd rather for a little boy or a man to dress up as a prostitute, but I don't want the woman to.
It's ways.
But that tell me you don't want the woman no way. You want.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what that's about. And what's funny is. Because I saw a video once of them talking about the laws of the Quran and how when a person steals over there, they cut people's hand off. And the dude was like, that's brutal, that's cruel. And they're like, well, would you rather send them to prison where they could be gay or cut their hand off. You go, what? Y'all already doing the other. So how you gonna justify cutting his hand off because you already doing this? More than likely, which is funny because that goes into the Catholic teachings. Well, not teaching, but the Catholic culture where a boy will be molested and he'll get older and he'll molest a younger boy and they got to get their innocence back over and over. And it's just this thing that happens. That's why you see every year some big story come out. 10,000, 1,000 boys come out and say they were molested and it just the money gets paid and they sweep it on the rug like nothing happened. Catholic Church is going to go bankrupt in a few years, by the way.
They definitely going to go bankrupt off giving us no reparation money.
They still owe us $100 million, but yeah.
What I cannot abide by is the double standard thing where we say, well, the casting in casting.
But yeah, I'm about to say they had white people playing Asians, people from Morocco.
Well, Johnny Depp said he got Native American,
Mexicans, blacks. They had, what's that little girl name? Remember the little girl from back in the day?
What little girl?
The little girl who's the famous little white little girl who's singing in all her movies.
Curly Sue.
Curly Sue was in blackface. Instead of putting a little
Curly Sue was in blackface.
Instead of putting
Curly Temple.
Yeah, Curly Temple. Instead of putting a little black girl in the show, they put her in blackface with an older black person being her co-star.
Well, maybe she was mixed. She had curly hair.
Mixed with white.
Every time I saw her hair was curly, so maybe she was mixed.
Yeah.
Matters only for certain races and not for others. No, we're not doing that. Also, by the way, with The Little Mermaid, can we also just mention that just from a scientific perspective, okay, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have someone with darker skin who lives deep in the ocean. I mean, if anything, not only should The Little Mermaid be pale, she should actually be translucent. If you look at deep sea creatures, they're like translucent. They have no kind of pigmentation whatsoever.
This is more that notion that dark skin comes from just being around sunlight. No, that's not the most I ain't no damn descendant of no monkey. I'm a full human. That's when white people tell those stories about evolution being descendant of these ape-like creatures. They talking about themselves, I guess. I ain't a descendant of them ape. I'm a full human.
Like, how is her hair gonna survive being in the water? I mean, it's just gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into a bush, isn't it?
It's gonna turn into a bush. I mean,
how's her hair? How's her hair touching the middle of her back?
Staying in locks.
Gotta give her dreaded up or something. All right, let me show this right here. Now, this right here, this is something I put out. The guy, he deleted the tweet. I want to show you this so bad.
That's why I keep telling you over and over. You have to screenshot stuff because stuff gets deleted.
I'm pretty sure if I look, I can find the screenshots, but it's not even that important. It was important, but I'm not going to look for it. This guy here, Lucas Bro, his Twitter, he co-wrote and produced Judas and the Black Messiah. He was responding to a tweet of a woman who was pointing out how all our black icons are being played by foreign black people. And he responded by saying, have you ever wrote or produced a movie? Right? That's how he first responded. They responded back to him. Then he later responded and said that studios will put more backing behind you based off of who's going to play the lead. And he said that the guy who played in Get Out, he had just did that movie and it did really well. So it was easy to get backing for their movie if they made him part of the lead cast. And I said, wait, but that's different from you saying that they were the best for the role.
I can't even say this. Well, what about before these last 5 or 7 years, black people were being cast for themselves. So why all of a sudden now you got to go get a foreign black person in order to get money behind
your movie,
a film being made? That's bullshit.
When he deleted his whole account,
that's what they do.
Yeah,
they'll say outlandish shit or do outlandish shit and then delete. That's being a coward. Just take it.
So he tried to stand up for himself. Once we caught on who he was, I caught it immediately. I said, wait, I clicked on his page and he said he wrote Judas and the Black. I said, hold on. Y'all see what this dude is saying? That's why I said, well, y'all see what he's saying right now? And he deleted his account when I checked it again. So it is what it is. He trying to make a point that he need to do this because apparently they won't back it if it doesn't have a certain person at the front. It's not a guaranteed success. Speaking of success, Tariq Nasheed officially purchased the building for his museum.
Where is it at?
It's the place where he said it's going to be.
Oh, the same place?
He said we purchased the building. Let me read it.
That same place?
Yeah, he said, we are now officially on the building here in Los Angeles, where we will have the Hidden History Museum. Now, you saying it's not the same building?
No. Oh, here we go.
If it's not, is that a problem? Okay, wait. If it's not the same, is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem at all. I'm just saying. I just want to know where the location is.
Well, he said the people that were trying to sell that one was kind of playing games. It was in a certain area where he said it would have been profitable and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know if it's the same place or a different one.
He's going to give us a little tour.
Yeah, let's see what he got to say.
All right, so we are at the museum spot that we just purchased out here in Los Angeles. Beautiful space, man. Beautiful, beautiful space. This is the museum space. We're going to put a lot of good stuff in here. Some of the stuff that you see is not going to be in here, but we just got the place, man. We officially own this building here in Los Angeles on Jefferson. Man, great space, nice outside. We're gonna have some stuff going on outside here in the back. So we got some stuff in the back that we're gonna have some outdoor events and all that stuff happening. So this is gonna be real fly. So y'all stay tuned. All right, so.
You gonna say it? Go ahead, say it.
That building looks small as hell.
Well, it's the same building. In the presentation video, it was small.
It wasn't. It had an upstairs, I believe.
I think that one do too.
No, it don't. If you look at the camera, it don't look like the building very tall at all. He go outside.
Here you go.
Okay, I'm gonna get God in the comment section. I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn.
So there's no upstairs in this one? Or maybe that wasn't.
No, if you go outside.
Well, hold on.
Turn around outside. He pointed the camera a little bit at the top of the building. It didn't look like it went very far up. So I'm just asking, is there a second part of the building?
It is. Look, yes, it's probably 2 floors, maybe. It might be 2 floors. Look, that video we saw was it was not what it's actually gonna be. It's what they want. People do that all the time. We saw Akon. I shouldn't bring that up. We see people do that all the time, where they show something how they want it to look, and it may not look like that.
I
but
don't
that's not
believe
the point.
that's what
it's
was
the museum.
done.
He got
I
the building.
believe that he was showing us how the museum would look if he had the other building, because the other building actually did have 2 floors. This the same building?
You know what? You got it.
I don't got anything, because, yeah, we know somebody going to have something to say.
Space is small as fuck from the original building he proposed. Bryant. Yeah, okay, I got to admit. Yeah.
No, let's just let Tariq go. The fact of the matter is that he purchased a building. Yeah. He bought a building. We don't know if it, I didn't put any money in on it, so I don't have any say.
So I don't have an opinion on it. Well, I can have an opinion on it.
I can have an opinion on it, but I'm not going to go any further, because if I go any further, it's going to be seen as shitting on somebody. So I'm not going to say nothing else.
All right, this is the Daily Wire's Candace Owens praises the British colonization of Africa. If you look at how forward it brought the African colonies, it ended up being a net positive. Travis, this is what I was saying earlier.
Wow.
She just going for it.
Is she crazy?
Well, she don't care no more. Like, look, she got her base, she got her audience. She's like, which is why it's crazy how they say
she just as bad as Brandon Tatum.
Nah, Brandon Tatum worse.
What she just said, that colonization was.
Brandon Tatum defends.
That's what white people say.
Brandon Tatum defends death. That's a difference.
She defends death too. She done said some things like that too on Fox.
Well, she ain't said nothing egregious like him.
But, she's not a black American, so I expect nothing more. But Brandon Tatum is a black American. So for him saying that, it's some bullshit.
Well, she got her audience already, but
I tell you, anything to have babies with a white man, I suppose.
I don't think she had to do all this to do that, but damn.
She got to do all this to stay in there, though.
To do with the colonization, something to do, which, by the way, just to be clear, the Brits.
Hold on, George. I ain't letting you get away with that.
What does that say?
At least he not Umar. Umar pockets all the money. Well,
Umar,
stop.
wait a minute. Hold on. Umar Johnson actually bought the school.
Hold on. And Brian said he about to pocket all the rest of that money.
Who?
Brian said,
Terry. That's why I didn't go no further.
I didn't want to say it.
I didn't go no further.
I didn't want to say it
because didn't go no further.
It looked like he bought a smaller place.
George just standing up for lost. What they call them? Lost. What did he call them? Like a Seattle-lite and Los Antonio. They have a like Seattle-lite or Washingtonian.
Yeah, Washingtonian.
There's a name for Los Angeles people.
Los Angeles.
He's just standing up for a Los Angeles person, a Californian person. That's what George is doing.
George said that Umar. Look, he bought. Look, man, we saw how he lived. Y'all remember that video? He didn't pocket no money.
No, what George trying to say is he still got the money.
No,
he bought the school. Listen, you have to pay employees. You have to pay water bill. You got to pay a light
you have
bill.
to pay utilities. Yeah. Gotta clean
He's
it up.
also talking about plumbing that had to be done. You could buy the school and take the money to buy the school, but then there's other money that you need to be assisted with other things.
And how many times has the funding been stopped? So I'm not saying that he's done a good job of handling the situation. I'm not saying he correctly handled the situation. I'm saying he clearly not spending on himself. He's not spending on himself. You could tell. He live in the same place, wear the same, not the same clothes, but
damn, dude.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying he, not buying clothes.
You trying to say Dr. Umar Johnson is a bum? That's what you're trying to say.
I didn't say that. I'm saying he has not changed where he lived nothing, as far as we know.
They give Dr. Umar Johnson a
Y'all
hard
be on.
time.
That's a dude who on YouTube. I'm gonna say it. There's a dude on YouTube. His name of his channel is Pocket Watching Something. He been talking about Umar for 4 years. He just recently started talking about other people.
He didn't let up on him.
He was on Umar every time. Any type of financial thing come out, he was on Umar's neck.
There's nothing wrong with
holding him accountable because he's a public figure. He's taking public money. Yeah,
because he, but at the same time,
like damn,
you have to investigate into what people are doing before you come with conclusions. That's why with Tariq, I left it alone.
Yeah,
I saw how short as hell the building was. I put 2 and 2 in my mind
together.
It
ain't as expensive as the other one, so what that money?
And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna let it be.
Well, maybe he's taking the
because
money.
You can always build on and add on.
I'm about to say maybe he's taking the money that he got saved from buying this building, and he gonna build on it. He gonna make it even better than the other one.
Yeah, the conference money too. He just gathering it all together to build
now
on
you bringing
to
the conference money. I thought you
to the
were trying
museum.
to. I thought you was trying to.
He gonna be like Tyler. What's his name?
Who?
The movie theater, the movie film person, Tyler
Perry.
Tyler Perry. He gonna eventually go on and create a film studio off the back of that lot.
He gonna call it Hidden History.
Hidden History.
Let me stop.
Hidden payments. Hidden money.
Hidden money. All right, you don't said it now, Bucket.
Hidden tethers.
He go talking about how to Becky too. Tatum got a Becky too. Yeah, Tatum. I thought she was Mexican. She white.
No, she white.
Oh,
she's a brunette.
Oh, he didn't get a blonde.
He didn't go get a blonde. He wanted a brunette.
George, you gotta get a blonde. You want the blonde pink toes, don't you, George? He said, at least now. He said, man, that dude bought a box. I got no alliances. Travis, really? $5 million and more. He still gets donations and flaunts it. Umar doesn't live no fancy lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. He changed cause donations became his religion. I'll say it. Kundis Owens.
George like Betty White's.
Yeah, George. What's going on with the grannies now?
George like Betty White.
Don't do that. Don't.
He's like when she was on an episode of My Wife and Kids, and she was what's that movie?
What?
She was like, what's that movie?
You said My Wife and Kids. Yeah, give me something, man.
She was on My Wife and Kids. It's a movie.
It's not Betty White, right?
Yeah, Betty White. What's the name of that movie that kids like? It's like a 60s or 70s movie where the woman be walking into the sky and all that stuff.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. George likes the Mary Poppins type.
He putting that in the most expensive state in the country. He could have purchased a building somewhere else. You would think he would have went to Atlanta.
Well, no.
Or maybe Atlanta too crowded.
No, let's give him credit what he said.
Washington.
He said he wanted to purchase a museum and put it in a black area.
Yeah, he did say that.
He said he wanted to be in a black community. Now, that doesn't mean he can't go to
other places,
Atlanta or
Washington,
D.C., but he's putting it in a black area, so give the man credit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about hair color. She had ass when she was younger. Now, Uma Thurman, I'll pop them. All right, here he go.
Uma Thurman ain't got no ass.
He's saying she do. Hold on.
Invading Africa actually represents, and this is going to get me in trouble, but it was, if you look at how forward it brought the African colonies, it ended up being a net positive. Now,
and she referred to them as colonies. Positive. She referred to them as colonies. Like y'all, I'm gonna talk about this later. Y'all see how when King Charles, when he addressed his government, he said the Queen was for her countries. He didn't say country. He said countries.
Yeah.
He's talking about the colonies that she still ruled over. And
she does still rule over some of them.
Yeah, and you go, wow.
He's talking like a king.
He's talking about his mother. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is, of course, it's going to get me in trouble because people somehow think that Africans were living happily ever after and things were great. And then the horrible English, British descended upon and murdered everybody. And the French suddenly murdered everybody. And that just isn't the truth. Obviously, the African nations had slavery, just like the European nations had slavery. So it's an evil that was not started, did not begin in Europe, actually. It can actually be traced back to Muslim origins. And for whatever reason, people have this fantastical rendition of history where they think that it was only white people that ever did anything bad, when in fact the truth is that even in terms of our own history, American history, it was the Africans that were selling the Africans to the Europeans, and usually for things as basic as gin and mirrors. I talk about this in my book. Like, it was at really basic things. And when Europeans set out to end slavery, by the way, it was white men that were the first in the world to abolish the slave trade, right? People don't like that fact. It's a very inconvenient fact from the narrative that white people are evil and backwards. They were not the first to do it, but they were the first to end it. That is the truth. I think it was France first, followed by the...
I thought it was the Haitians. I thought it was the Haitians that ended slavery first.
She better hope to God that white men never leave her.
Yeah.
And another white man don't ever want her, or other race of men don't ever want her. Because if I see a nigga with
I'm
her...
gonna whoop his ass. I'm violent.
We gonna whoop his ass.
I'm violent. I'm gonna whoop him. If I see it
she
perfectly...
is done. She's cut off.
Oh,
she should be done.
She's excommunicated from the group.
Yeah, she's exiled.
Okay,
it's a wrap for her. No saving her.
Yeah, I think she's pretty much gone. And she go on this pretty much. This really.
She's literally defending her husband right now. White man. That's what she's doing.
That's pretty much what she's doing. Which is why I always say, people like this type of black conservative, they say that race gets talked about too much. Yet all they talk about is race.
Her talking points is race.
So it's like, wait, the only time you go on Fox News when they want you to say something about race.
When they want her to talk shit about black people.
That's it. That's the only time. They don't bring you up to talk about, Ukraine versus Russia. They don't,
because they don't want to hear what she got to say, because they ain't none of her business.
They don't care what
that's
you think
white people business.
They don't care what you thought about the Saudi prince and Iran and Israel.
And she ain't gonna get no views.
They don't care what you think about China. They don't care. They want you,
because they viewers don't want to hear a black woman talking about what she's talking about. They don't care. Only when she's talking about black people, they want to hear it.
Same thing I used to say about Larry
Elderly.
The only reason why they had you around is to be the little, the little toy, say this right here. We want you to talk about this subject. That's it. That's all
they
we care
talking about this again?
Yeah, former Governor Phil Bryant helped Brett Favre secure welfare funding for USM volleyball stadium, texts reveal. So he said he was not a part of this, but now texts are revealing that the same place that ain't got no clean water right now,
which is
Jacksonville, Mississippi. This same person was a part of it and was giving the money, the welfare funds to Brett Favre. He was a part of it for a volleyball stadium. When the judgment comes,
it's gonna come.
Here go another one. This ain't judgment, but it's something they need to pay attention to. This happened I think the 30th of last month. Yeah, August 30th, 2022. I'm showing this because a Houston woman claims to have been drugged at hookah lounge, says she is now experiencing seizures, memory loss. Now, there's some people saying that at this, hookah lounges, that's really popular in places like Georgia and Texas and all that.
Like hookahs.
I think New York is pretty popular. I don't know about Cali. Maybe
what do you get out of smoking a hookah?
It's the same thing as smoking a pipe, I guess. Like
what type
weed.
of pipe? A crack pipe or?
No, not the glass one.
Okay.
It's like smoking from a bong, I guess that's what they used to call it. You go to a hookah lounge and you just sit around and smoke weed. Remember we saw
So you're smoking weed in the hookah?
Yeah. You put it in there, the bowl, and you just burn and you just... People, funny enough, people actually catching monkeypox at the lounge. Or people putting their lips on the things. So people catching monkeypox at the hookah lounges as well.
So they tell me that people been doing stuff with their mouth and leaving residue on it.
Well, so yeah, people coming to the damn hookah lounge with monkeypox. But they believe that it's possible that she was hit with fentanyl. So those hookah lounge, I keep saying, I don't know why niggas was skeptical when they first started legalizing weed in certain places.
Well,
niggas was like, I don't know, man. And niggas should have kept that skepticism because now it's like, you look like you was right.
I know this. Why would you want to go to a place and put your mouth on something that other people put their mouth? I know people gonna say, well, people go to restaurants.
Well, no, they give you like a rubber thing to put over the mouthpiece.
But you saying people still catching monkeypox.
That's what I was saying. So how they catching monkeypox still?
So it's done gotten so bad now that you probably can't even, you shouldn't even be going to restaurants. Everything should be plastic.
Yeah. Nothing should be saved, no metal, which is probably the point.
It's getting that point. I used to always see when I was growing up and I would see people rolling blunts for people and they
put their lips on it.
I mean, they take their whole mouth and just cover it in saliva.
Spit on it, just.
And I'd be like, how do they smoke behind one another?
Breath smelling like, ugh. They don't care.
They're like, this blunt good, dude.
It's just hitting. Well, now, there was a situation where you tell somebody not to roll your blunt because they breath stink.
That too. Well, you need to get rid of that
I knew
too.
you were bring that story up. Nah, that's that too. Well, you need to get rid of that damn too. But yeah, she said, I am mentally scarred from this. It said, it isn't easy for Brittany to talk about what happened to her in the past Friday night while listening to live music with her brother and sister-in-law at the Culture Hookah Lounge in Southwest Houston. The waitress handed me a drink. She said, I never left my drink. Less than 10 minutes after she finished the second one, she said that she blacked out. Now, she's saying it's the drink, but another one, they were saying that it was the, they believe fentanyl was being put in the actual.
Well, she said she tested positive for opioids.
Yeah. I remember nothing else. I don't even remember waking up, making it into a restroom. My brother said I was seizing and my eyes were rolling back. He said, I don't remember anything. When she woke up in the hospital, her brother told her she had 3 seizures and that her sister-in-law had experienced the same thing. So he didn't, but his sister and his, I would imagine, wife did. So they didn't want him. They just want, remember, Houston is a hotbed for, what do they call it?
What?
Trafficking.
Yeah, drug trafficking.
Yeah, no, people trafficking.
Oh, yeah. Well, drug trafficking, people trafficking, cartel trafficking, everything.
Yeah, Houston, Atlanta, Washington, Ohio, New York are hotbeds for trafficking, especially Houston. Like, it's a big deal there. So I'm not surprised that this probably what this was. They probably just hit the wrong people, maybe. I don't know. Iowa teen who killed rapist sentenced, ordered to pay $150,000. This story is pretty interesting. It said a teenager human trafficking victim who was initially charged with first-degree murder after she stabbed her accuser, rapist, to death was sentenced Tuesday in the Iowa court to 5 years of closely supervised probation in order to pay $150,000 restitution to the man's family. Harper Lewis, 17, was sentenced Tuesday after she pled last year to involuntary manslaughter and willful injury to the in the June 2020 killing of 37-year-old Zachary Brooks of Des Moines. Both charges were punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Polk County District Judge David M. Porter on Tuesday deferred to those prison sentences, meaning that if Lewis violates any portion of her probation, she could be sent to prison, serve those 20-year term. As for being required to pay to the state for rapists, that court is presented with no other option. Porter said nothing to restitution is mandatory under Iowa law. It's been upheld by the Iowa Supreme Court. Lewis was 15 when she stabbed Brooks more than 30 times in his apartment. Officials have said Lewis was a runaway who was seeking to escape the abusive life of her adopted mother and was sleeping in the hallways of the apartment building when a 28-year-old man took her in before forcibly trafficking her to other men for sex.
So why did she plead guilty to manslaughter if he was her rapist?
I'm gonna go ahead and just say what the story happened. They said she was a runaway. She ended up living with this dude. He started trafficking her, raping her. And at some point during the situation, after being assaulted, while he was asleep in the bed, she stabbed him 30 times. So they're saying, well, he was no threat to you. You could have just left. That's what they're saying. They're saying you could have left because he was no threat to you. So you actually killing him while he was defenseless is a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she was 15. She was a runaway. And she ended up getting trafficked. Is it more than likely, let's be honest, she probably was moving fast in the streets, ended up running into somebody who took advantage of that. And she got put in this situation And then she made a decision in anger, in emotion, and killed him. I don't know. See, once again, that 15, you don't know how to go about this. I'm gonna say this. I think what happened to her, as far as the sentence, the $150,000, no, but the probation, yes.
Where's she gonna get $150,000 from? That's
they expect her.
That ain't gonna happen.
They gonna basically pretty much she gonna get some job somewhere and they're gonna garnish her check pretty much. That's all that's gonna happen. But yeah, as far as the sentence, 5 years probation, I think she got off light, honestly. But they could have easily hit her with that murder.
Well, we can take it back to the dude that she killed. He was molesting her. Is this Virginia? Polk County sounds like a place that would be in Virginia. Iowa.
Yeah.
If they laws said how old you have to be, and she was under that age, then he would qualify as a person that was,
yeah. What they call it, statutory. If it was consensual,
minor.
Yeah, if it was consensual, statutory. If it wasn't, then it's pedo. So it's one of those things where that 15-year-old who out on the streets and in a bad situation and things like this happen. Look, I don't envy judges at this point.
It's getting tough.
I don't envy judges because you want to say, "Oh, let her go." He was doing stuff to her, but on the other hand, it's like, you don't know the whole story. Speaking of that, though, Florida sex trafficking sting nabs 160 people, including Georgia Deputy Police Chief Jason DePrima.
Well, we know that police officers to be involved in this type of stuff.
You see where it's at? Georgia.
Florida.
No, Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
The deputy's from Georgia. He was a part of the section. I told you, Georgia's a hotbed for trafficking along with like Houston and stuff. So if police officers are trafficking people, then no wonder why people go missing. You see somebody, particularly a woman, driving down the highway or a road at night, get pulled over, and you don't hear from her ever again. You think, she got arrested for a blink or something. No, she just disappeared.
That shit is old. Standing outside the highway with your thumb on that. Go ahead and do that if you want.
I'm talking about getting pulled over.
Oh.
Like a woman just driving.
Oh, and officers are pulling.
Yeah, and they get in the car, we taking you to, and you never see her again. How many people are in jail right now and they have no case against them? They just sitting in jail. They have no court date. They have no court date, anything. They just sitting in jail for. That's what happened to the kid out of New York. Bowers, I think is his name.
The one that killed himself?
Yeah. He got arrested for.
Documentary on him.
Yeah, he got arrested.
Rikers Island.
Yeah. He got arrested for stealing a backpack they accused him of or something. He was in there for 3 years with no court date. 3 years. His family couldn't get him out because they couldn't afford a bond.
Sounds like they were trying to break him.
I don't know. But he got out finally, and he had already been destroyed mentally. And, bad things happen. Antioch officials announced police reform efforts amid FBI probe. Antioch City Council members and the chief of police announced new reform efforts on Tuesday amid an investigation by the FBI and county prosecutors into multiple officers on the force. The reforms focus on K9 policy. So that's when you running and they sick that dog on you, and they let them stay on you for an extra minute or two. Instead of as soon as you hit the ground and get the dog off of you, they let them get a few extra bites in. Trafficking use of force statistics and monitoring department issues cell phone use, all issues that appear to have relevance in the larger criminal probe. How can we expect our community to work with us to both prevent and solve crimes if we aren't holding ourselves accountable? Antioch City Councilman Monica Wilson, who chairs the Police Oversight Committee, said, "There is no denying that we have a lot of work to do as the issues we have with the department have been unchecked for decades."
Y'all put out the same statement.
Same.
But don't shit change. Somebody else will get bit the next day.
Yeah. Oklahoma City is hoping these new recommendations can become a blueprint for police reform. The police department in the capital of one of the reddest states in the nation is moving forward with a sweeping plan for reform, one that follows years of advocacy to more meaningfully address police violence in the city that ranks second among the country's large police departments in the rate of people killed by officers. The charges are based on a list of 39 new recommendations from 21CP Solutions, an outside firm made up of former law enforcement leaders, political officials, civil rights lawyers, and social scientists. The recommendations are designed to not only curb violent interactions between police and public, but also improve relationship between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Nationally, we saw this historic call for reevaluation of the way our law enforcement operates. The mayor said, we saw the people here in Oklahoma City marching in the streets, and we broadly represented the public, and we knew it was important to this community and needed to be addressed and addressed quickly. So they need 39 they need 39 recommendations to simply be useful to their community and people not fear them. Insurers force change on police departments' long resistance to it. The high cost of settlements over police misconduct has led insurers to demand police departments overhaul tactics or forego coverage. Oh, wow. So the insurance companies said, look,
we paying out too much money and we tired of it.
Y'all gonna have to y'all have to make some changes because we paying out millions of dollars a year for you putting hands or killing somebody.
And they just continue to do it.
And that's the part that's crazy. Somebody will get hit with a case, lose $100 million, $40 million, and they'll do something the next week.
They'll let you know that they not worried about
it. They're trying to continue to control it by fear. I'm still going to eat. Georgia had a hotbed for him. 3 out of every 5 people, pedo activity, and as much more. You shouldn't be surprised it's Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. The whole planet is Sodom and Gomorrah at this point.
Yeah, the whole
It
planet.
ain't just the West, it's the planet. It's just wicked shit going on all over the place. Chicago police will no longer be allowed to chase people on foot. Now, this was June 22nd.
Oh, they're just going to run you over in their car.
So, remember that we just saw a case that just happened with a dude out in Cali who ran from the police, a former Marine, and he got shot in the back 3 times. So now, just like when somebody steals out of a store in certain places and you're not allowed to chase them out, cops can no longer chase people on foot.
Oh, they're just going to be in their car.
They're going to run.
They do drive-bys anyway on the weekends in Chicago.
Well, don't that mean? Oh yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one.
They used to doing drive-bys, so they like we'll just do what we do on the weekends.
We won't be on foot shooting. We'll just stay in the car.
Instead of the weekends, 7 days a week now, folks.
Maybe now they're just sending more dogs after you. It seems like the K9 is going to be used more if they can't chase you in Chicago.
Allegedly.
They also have a new law going on in Illinois. It's called people are calling the Purge Law. Y'all can look that up.
I saw that,
and it seems like it's a big deal. We're not gonna go into that right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that article where they were talking about the movie Purge and how
they let people out.
Yeah.
They said January 1st, they're going to let out a lot of people. I guess it's supposed to be people that's non-violent. But
no, I thought it said all crimes.
All crimes?
Yeah.
From the little bit I read, I saw people saying that there's going to be a lot of people getting out. Don't be scared. Don't be scared and all that stuff. Yeah. Chicago or Illinois, should I say? It's gonna be Wild Wild West.
Well, they said it's the Wild Wild West there anyway. So
yeah, Western Illinois town disbands police force due to budget. Now this was August 8th, 2021. This was last year. So, what do you do when a town disbands the police because they said it's the budget? It's too expensive. You know, in some cities, they changed the law in Illinois a few years ago, maybe 8-9 years ago. I remember seeing this, where in Illinois, shall I say, they changed it where it's more expensive if you have people who aren't full-time firefighters. The city had to insure them and had to pay more for the insurance. So it was more expensive to have a part-time firefighter than a full-time firefighter. So is the police was just so expensive? They just said, fuck it. Y'all on your own. Go to the next town for the police. We can't do nothing for you.
That's crazy.
We can't afford the cops no more. What is going on?
Sounds like they just ready to usher in a global police force.
Oh, well, you said global. I'm about to say a national police force. What if the Secret Service? What if the Secret Service became a police force of the country? So the government was a direct connection to your local communities, because that officer is no longer just some local officer. That's a Secret Service. That is a government worker now. That's a private government worker. Now you do something to him, That's treason. That's like the death penalty immediately. Ain't no trial, no nothing. So
we coming to a time is speeding up and moving really quickly.
More on Illinois. Illinois mayor drops hammer on new state law eliminating cash bail. Massive threat. We must not allow this law to stand.
You got to pay with a debit card, a credit card.
No, so now when you go to jail, you
money order.
No, you can't be put on a cash bail no more. So you in. If whatever you did don't require you to be on, if what you did require you to be on cash bail, then you just don't go in. You just wait for your court date. But if you go in and you got to be in, there's no bail. You got to stay in.
What? So they trying to get rid of the bail system, to bail out people's system? Ain't they gonna get rid of the bail bondsmen? That'll take away their jobs.
Take a lot of jobs away, yeah. Now obviously this is Fox News, so they're saying this is bad. This is obviously they're saying it's a bad thing. Obviously, an Illinois mayor sounded the alarm on how dangerous a state law that eliminates cash bail will be, arguing communities will be left more vulnerable and victims of crime will lose their constitutional rights. We must not allow this law to stand as passed. Orlando Park Mayor Keith said Tuesday in the town meeting. Sorry. That
Safety Act, that's the same thing with that purge law they talking about.
Yeah. The Orlando Village Board unanimously passed a resolution Tuesday demanding state legislators work with public safety representatives to address problems they see with the Safety, Accountability, and Fairness Equality Act, Today Act. The village is mostly located in Cook County. You know, that's where the niggas at. Cook County is an infamous jail now because of the drill music out of Chicago, the most populated county in the state. Illinois Governor J.B. signed a bill into law last year. Provisions such as eliminating cash bail will take effect on January 1st, 2023. The law makes Illinois the first state in the country to eliminate cash bail. So what they're trying to say is that, remember that guy we talked about in New York who ended up going to jail and his family couldn't afford the bail, so he was stuck in jail for 3 years? Mm-hmm. They're saying, see, this is why we have to get rid of cash bail, because poor people suffer more, which is true. But circumstances like that, how rare is they? Or is it not rare at all? Every damn couple of weeks, we see somebody getting out of jail for a crime they didn't commit. Somebody admitting that they told a lie, DNA coming back not positive, and all this other stuff. So this is how they get away with doing stuff like this, because they tied to stuff that affects you know who, black people. They tied to black people.
They'll say people of color though.
Yeah, they'll say people of color. They tied to black people, and now we behind it, even though we shouldn't be behind this. Let me say this. Some niggas need to be in jail. That's just what it is.
That are a danger to the community.
Some Negroes need to be in jail. That's just what it is. The legislation has been criticized by politicians and law enforcement officials across the state. Going over the town meeting in different ways, and community will reportedly suffer if the law is implemented as is. Safety Act abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. Individuals on electronic monitoring must be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement. Now I've
individuals
known
on electronic monitoring. That's probation.
Yeah, I've known people be on probation. You telling me they got 48 hours to not be home? 2 days? They can just go somewhere for 2 days.
They gonna love it.
What? You're not on probation? Just go away for a day and just come back.
Then go away for 2 days. Go away for another day. I just got to make sure I'm home
once every 2 days. Once every
2 days out of the week. I got to be home.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds pretty fair to me.
You got to be gone for 2 days before they can act. Prohibits officers from removing trespassers from your residence or businesses. Wait.
Growing up, you had 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember seeing people run to the car right quick and run back in the house because, you know, next thing you know, that car pulling up. Whoop whoop. Hey man, what you doing?
Foot fell out the door.
Yeah. Hey man, I had to go out there and talk to my kid. Yeah, all right. But yeah, then it says prohibits officers from removing trespassers from your residence or business. So I mean, that means. See, they paint it as
no more Karens.
So now they're saying that officers can't remove people from your premises. But what it's also saying is I can't remove somebody from my residence. Because you're either saying I got to do something to this person and get them off my property. I can't rely on the officers to do it. So is it supposed to be for loitering?
I guess so. It seems. I guess police officers they no longer are protectors. They no longer are in charge of
Protecting
private
businesses and
property anymore. You're in charge of your own estate now.
And that's the whole Marxist communist thing is that, they say, and it's true, cops are only here to defend property, not people.
They no longer defending property.
So their job is defend people now.
So a lot of people gonna be getting popped.
Yeah, they ain't gonna play no. They gonna come up there, pop, leave.
That's
gonna pop your ass.
Gonna say they gonna tell you one time, get off my property. I ain't going. Pop.
I told him to leave. I told that boy to go.
So
Pennsylvania murder suspect in drunken crash that killed 2 state troopers, man, on I-95 released on bail. Remember this woman? She was on her podcast drinking, saying F the cops and all the other stuff. She left where she was doing her show, ended up running over 2 police officers and killing them. And now she's out on bail.
How'd she get out on bail?
But they're saying it was an accident. Now she still got to go to trial and get sentenced and stuff. But they're saying she's not a threat to the public because she has no prior violent behavior, and this was an accident. She was drunk. So I just found it funny how that cash bail thing in Illinois happened. And this is one of the reasons why do you think she deserved to be on bail? Even though she was drinking, it was an accident. You only saying that because you think the cops were white. That's why you're saying that.
She killed 2 officers. I can't believe she's out on bail, to be honest with you.
Oh, them cops is pissed. I know them cops is pissed. George said, shit about to be real. I'm glad I'm not out there. Yeah. True. Can't save everybody because not everybody want to be saved. Exactly. What up, Brendan? Look at this one right here. Woke department of the... are we going to let them take the word woke?
This is white people.
Are we going to let them take woke?
First, woke has become anything that's
social justice.
It
used to be black people who had an understanding of what's going on around them. That's what woke was.
Liberal, progressive.
Yeah.
LGBTQ. Black Lives Matter.
Immigration. Every movie you could think of. Every
Asian people.
Every ism is woke now.
Feminism.
Yeah.
Women rights.
It used to be black people who understood what was going on around them, who was conscious.
Marvin Gaye, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was for conscious people, woke, awake. And they took it and just bastardized it. And it's
theirs now.
Yeah, they use it for themselves.
They done took it.
Yeah. Woke Department of Defense and Equity Chief Kalisha Wing has a history of anti-white Twitter posts. Report. The subscribe woke Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer in the Department of the tweets by Kalisha Wing, an Army veteran and a current chief or whatever, were the first reported by Fox News. When the outlet contacted her for comment, her Twitter account was made private, and she declined to respond.
What did she say?
I'm exhausted with all these white folks. That's how she spell folks. That's how we spell folks now. They invent ways to spell words now. Folks in these professional developing sessions. Wing, who oversees curriculum tweeted at June 2020. This lady actually had a caucasity to say that black people can be racist too. I had to stop the session and give Karen the business. We are not the majority. We don't have power. The diversity chief continued. Caucasity is a... Wait. They're offended by the word caucasity. Like audacity, the caucasity.
Well, you know what? She is a public figure.
I agree.
And she should have not gone onto her social platform and tweeted that out. It's unprofessional.
Well, no, what I'll say is, why you want to be around these people and talk shit about them at the same time?
Because she want a hug. What she really want is a hug and acceptance.
You want a hug with them. Just don't be around them.
What you do is you sit in the meeting, act professional, and you go home to your black folks and talk shit about them.
Everybody, they do it to you. You do it to
You don't do this in a professional.
The balance of society is
social setting. You don't do that.
When we're around each other, there's social rules we abide by. We're cordial as much as we can be. We're civil. And when we're not around each other, we talk shit about each other. That's how race in this country works.
I go.
You just talk shit about each other when you're not around each other. You don't go
and talk about their caucasity. There you go. Y'all always giving out the lingo and the code words that we use. There you go. Now they
know what that means.
Now they know what it means.
Being anti-racist means being active against racism. You would never arrive. Stop centering this on whiteness. In another post, Wing responded to another user who criticized an article she had written that claimed racism is ingrained in the very fabric of our country and called on teachers to dismantle racial oppression. By Karen, when he wrote dismissively. She additionally called former President Donald Trump the whole boy version of a Karen.
Hold on.
And his whole boy. Look, I don't know why we do this. We said the word a whole as in all.
As in half.
But we like he a whole boy version of
Black
Karen.
women have a disdain
for Donald Trump.
I don't know what it is.
I'm indifferent towards them, but sisters don't like.
They don't give nothing. No, nothing. It's just I don't know what.
I won't say all, obviously. Nah, I've seen some.
I ain't heard one besides Candace Owens.
Remember when we saw that video of the women or the black people talking about Biden's presidency, and a few black women said, "I want Trump." And obviously, the black dudes was like, "Yeah, man, Trump looking good right now," and the black women was like, "Yeah, man, I'm voting for Trump. If he run, I'm voting for Trump. I ain't voting for him, but yeah, I think in as many as it used to be, maybe." She additionally called for President Donald Trump a whole boy version of Karen, former Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos, the Queen of Karens. So now, and by the way, they're calling Karen a racial slur now, which I said that 3 years ago. Remember I said that word Karen is making white women dehumanized. Because now you're not looking at them as just white women, you're looking at them, they go a Karen, the same way they use those words, those bywords against black people. When you start to call a whole demographic just one name, you don't see them as full people anymore. So people, and I told you right before the pandemic happened, it went from recording her, exposing her on social media, trying to get her fired, to putting hands on her. Like there was a few videos that came out of people putting hands on these older white women who fucking with them, and it was very quickly gonna turn to somebody popping one of their ass. I knew it was gonna happen.
No, I remember that one with that Karen. Those two black women, I think she was her husband. That Karen had a gun on her.
They had two guns on there.
Karen does carry a gun.
Now that was different Karen. them MAGA Karens. You can't deal with them.
G.I. Joe Karens.
Yeah, G.I. Jane. You can't fuck with them.
James, they be in the back practicing targets.
Yeah, boy. Then the proud girls. You can't deal with them.
No, we got to do more training with y'all.
Yeah, y'all ain't ready.
But you know
for them.
the sisters too. They getting ready. They in NAGA. The black
National Association of
the black people versions of what's the name of that gun association? I forget it.
I keep forgetting it too. They know what we're talking about. The NRA.
NRA. There is a black version in Georgia
called NAGA.
And it's a lot of black women at that shooting range.
And who they practicing for?
They practicing for the missed child support payments. That's what
they're practicing
for.
Ass. You think they getting ready for the white dudes or white women? You getting ready to pop your But yeah, they calling her anti-white for calling them for using the term caucasity and calling them Karens.
She is anti-white.
I mean, yeah, but why you want to work with them? Why you want to be around?
She want a
them?
hug. She wants acceptance from them.
And them be the main ones that be marrying them. Them men, them dudes, them black dudes and black women who be doing all that extra shit, calling people caucasity and Karens and all. They be the main ones laying up with them. You don't be sitting in the room though, do you? Revealed how UK targeted American civil rights leader in covert campaign. The British government targeted the American civil rights leader Stokely Carmichael and sought to weaken the Black Power movement with covert disinformation campaigns, recently declassified documents have revealed. Now, I'm not going to read all this. They found out, listen to what I'm about to say. Intelligence agencies were creating Black Power movements. They were creating them to be counter to other movements.
Like what?
What's that dude name? I'm pretty sure y'all remember the name. The dude who created Kwanzaa, who turned out to be an FBI informant or a CIA informant. The dude who created Kwanzaa. I can't remember his name right now. I could look it up, but y'all can look it up too.
Or tell us in the comment section if they know.
Yeah, just put it in there if you know. The dude who created Kwanzaa, he turned out to be an informant. So he might have been used to go against what was then considered the Black Power movement, which was the Panthers and all them. So the intelligence agencies around the world were creating groups to go against the black groups to go against other black groups. And this is documented now. This is not just what we think. Now it's on paper. It's released. The effort was the work of a secret unit known as the Information Research Department, based in London and part of a foreign office, which created and distributed literature from fake sources as part of a broader effort to destabilize Cold War enemies. Remember when J. Edgar Hoover said that the black people were the biggest threat to national security? That was during the 60s.
Yep, that's during the protests. And
he said that the black people were the biggest threat to the United States national security. Though focused primarily on the Soviet Union and China, left-wing liberation groups and leaders of the UK saw the threats to his interests. Discoveries revealed that IRD from the late 1960s sought to counter more diverse targets too. We can see large-scale attempts to shape events overseas, but one that was moving away from communism and targeting whole new areas. This shows that the breadth, scope, and scale of British covert information operations, said Rory Cormac, an expert in the history of subversion and intelligence, who found the material in researching his recent book, How to Stage a Coup and 10 Other Lessons of the World of the Secret Starcraft. What's that song by what they call it? What's the name of that group with Flavor Flav and Chuck D? Take a Nation to Hold Us Back. Remember that song? I can't remember the name.
I can't remember. Why can't I remember their name?
Can't remember their name now. But Chuck D, y'all know Chuck D, Flavor Flav. Goddamn, the song "Took a Nation to Hold Us Back." That's what that shows. Memphis-based Man Up program celebrating producing more than 100 black male teachers. Memphis-based Man Up program celebrating producing more than 100 black male teachers in 4 years.
Man Up.
The name of their group is called, name of the program is called Man Up. Black men make up roughly 2% of teachers in the classroom, but a Memphis-based program designed to get more black men in classroom is paying off as it celebrates producing more than 100 black male teachers within 4 years. I started teaching when I was 21, and I've done it all, from teaching to superintendent to founder at a charter school. Founder of Man Up program. Watson is the 5th generation educator, and he found the Memphis-based Man Up program that began in 2018 and designed a pipeline to attract black men into teaching, paying for them to earn education degrees and teaching certifications and mentoring them once in the classroom to become successful teachers.
I think you should teach in different schools based on how old you are. If you're 21,
you shouldn't teach.
You teach in elementary.
Yeah, you can teach how to read, basic stuff,
40 middle school,
60 high school,
50, 60, 70 high school.
So look, we see what happened with
college. We don't give a damn how old you is in college.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Look, we see what happened when you get a 20 to 40-year-old, 20 to 50-year-old in a classroom in a high school. We see what happens. They don't talk about enough. Kids go
missing for a couple of days.
They don't talk about enough how many stories every year of a teacher laying up
with a
male student. Like it's happening so much, and it's barely talked about. Like it's like every day you can find a story. Every day you can find a story on this shit. Like these kids is turning.
These kids getting in with these.
They get in with these teachers, boy. God dang,
it's crazy.
14-year-old boy going in, ain't he? Damn. But let me stop. But yeah, these teachers is going crazy with these students.
It's not funny. It's
that's what I said. It's not funny. I'm gonna stop.
It should be taken seriously. Just because they're male students.
Public enemy. Thank you. Sorry, Trevor.
Just because they're male students don't mean that it's not considered a form of
molestation. Yeah. Brandon Jason said them curses getting them. They can't handle them bywords. Exactly. Y'all see you understand you're on the knowledge. But yeah, them bywords is killing them. And it's going so far now. Like I said, when you started seeing Caucasian men on the streets protesting, it was it was over.
The kingdom is done.
Proud Boys existing, it's over.
Blood in soil. Blood in soil.
When you seeing them out there protesting, that means they don't feel like their community, they're in control anymore. That's why niggas is protesting. We're not in control of where we at.
And their own women is the one that's getting them out of power.
I won't say that. I think it's the spirit on them. That's what you're right. The spirit has been put on them to help get them out of power. But yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. It's over, baby. It's slowly but surely. The prophecy said they'll receive double the curses we receive. Oh, they will. There's a lot of people that's praying. They get to be a part of it.
You seen that no nation feels sorry for them.
None. Saudi Arabia right now is like F them. Saudi Arabia, I don't want to help y'all. We ain't that cool. We just here for the money. China, no one cares when they fall. I remember a few years ago, a white dude made a video saying white people aren't bad. He was pleading. We're not all bad. We've done some good.
Snake is a snake.
Snake is a snake, and they bite. That's all they know how to do. Zelensky. Let me make sure I show this on the screen. Sorry, y'all. Let me. There we go. Zelensky guard appears to wear Nazi insignia. This ain't new. We know who they are. We're not surprised at all by this stuff. And it's Public Enemy is the name of the group, yeah. So the name of that head you see there is called a death head. It is directly connected to the Nazis. It's directly connected to them. Now, when you see this picture, the full picture shows them standing there taking a picture together. And you ask yourself, the soldier that's behind him could have easily faced forward and we would not have saw this.
They're trying to purposely show.
Every time that picture comes out, it shows somebody wearing some Nazi symbol, got some Nazi tattoo. It's like they're subtly recruiting. Like, this is what we represent. So we went from World War II with Germany to get rid of the Nazis with the help of Russia, apparently Russia, United States, UK, France. When France, they get kind of, France get picked on because they always seem to be cowards. Let me stop. To now, Germany, the USA, and UK are going against Russia to protect Ukraine, who apparently has Nazis there. So Russia's still fighting the Nazis. Russia's still in World War II.
Pretty much.
We still going to war with the Nazis. We still going. The Nazis, we know, Operation Paperclip, they brought them over from Germany to America. That's NASA. They went over to Canada. Matter of fact, is it the vice president or prime minister, whatever it is.
And then Argentina.
In Argentina. Her father he came from Ukrainian Nazis. We know some of them, pretty sure some of them went to the UK. They were already, so it's like, Russia feels like, and we're going to talk about this is a spiritual war for them. We keep saying how Crimea is very important to them, and now we saw in the last couple of weeks, Ukraine has been saying how they want to take that back.
Yeah, they've been painting in the media that, Ukraine is just beating Russia, and they
had an offensive, they want some areas. And that can backfire on them because now, if you look at here, let me make sure I put it on the screen. Okay. Yeah, okay. If you look at this right here, and this right here is the death head. Right here. This is what the guy has on his on his back. You see here? We zoom in. See the skull head. They call it skull and bones. I'm sure y'all know what that is. Skull and bones. Every president is a part of that. Most politicians are a part of that. So this is called the death.
Too.
Huh?
Celebrities.
Yes, a lot of celebrities. So this is called the Nazi Germany's death head. This was a part of their symbolism, and this is what they're rocking over there now, the Ukrainian soldiers. Let me show this one here. This is directly from the ADL, which is Zionist control. The person who runs the ADL came out. He said, "I'm a Zionist." So he's saying the death head is German Nazi symbol. So let me show this right here. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Critical moment behind Ukraine's rapid advance in the east and south. So as you know, Ukraine had an offensive the last couple of days or weeks, should I say. And it apparently took a lot of land, land back. Gained a lot of ground.
Yeah, Russia pushed back.
And at the same time, guess who was a part of this offensive? UK, America, and NATO. They were a part of they orchestrated Ukraine's push. So you go, wait. That means, in particular, the United States, the Pentagon was doing all the strategy to attack Russia with Ukrainian soldiers. That means America just attacked Russia.
They already done said that. Didn't they say if whatever happens, whatever country
is helping them, we're gonna go after the head of that. We're gonna go after the thinking of that country. Or sorry, thinking. I say we're gonna go after their military thinking of that country, which means the Pentagon in America.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time the Pentagon was hit.
Allegedly, but we still don't know how that thing fit to that dough. We gonna leave that alone because 9/11. Now y'all gonna see a little box at the bottom of this video. 9/11. Here are the facts. Wikipedia.
Man, these white people just celebrated 9/11, and here you go talking about it.
Here's another thing that came out of this. Let me show this right quick. Expose the vast pro-Ukrainian bot army designed to influence Western policymakers. Look, we already know Twitter. I got a feeling that Twitter is about 70% bots at this point. Ain't too many real. That's why you see the same people. You see the same people tweeting every day. You get on there for like 10 minutes, disappear, go back 2 weeks later and go in there for 10 minutes. It's going to be the same damn people tweeting.
You don't ever see nobody new?
You don't see no new people. You see old people create new accounts who got deleted, blocked, something. It's the same couple hundred people you see it's the same couple people you see every day, right? Now, according to RT, this is Russia control. They're saying that these bots are being used to push pro-Ukrainian policy. We already know this is a thing. Hell, YouTube is now controlling how we could talk about this type of stuff. So that's not a surprise.
Misinformation.
Yeah, we say anything they don't like is misinformation. But yeah, look at this right here.
You remember when it was disinformation?
Yeah. Now it's mis and disinformation. It's both. Not only are you lying, you purposely lying. That's what they're saying. Kiev releases draft agreement on its security guarantee demand. Now, this is a Russian news agency. According to the document, among those who took part in the celebration of Western experts, including former and acting politicians and scientists, this is important. The office of the Ukrainian president on Tuesday released a draft document titled "The Kiev Security Compact International Security Guarantees for Ukraine Recommendations." The document was presented by the co-chairs of the Working Group on International Security Guarantees, Chief of the Presidential Office, Andrei, I'm not going to say that last name, and former NATO Secretary General Anders. According to the document, among those who took part in the elaboration were Western experts, including former and acting politicians and scientists. Despite the earlier proposals, the documents provide for neither Kiev's neutral status nor for Russia's participation in security. What's that? Garvator. Following our key provisions of the documents, it is suggested a binding security document, the Kiev Security Compact, be signed between Ukraine and the nations. An alternative is the set of bilateral agreements. So basically, these are the people that agree with United States, Australia, United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, Poland, Turkey, France, countries of Northern, Central, and Southern Europe, and Baltic states. Russia is not named among the possible. And this is what they came to agree upon right quick. Basically, they're asking for reparations. They're saying we are asking for us to be given Russia and Russian citizens' property. They're saying that we want this, the agreement that this will end by giving us Russian, as in the country, and Russian citizens' property. They want all those countries I just named to rob Russia and give it to Ukraine.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
That's what the Russian came out and said. That ain't happening. That's bullshit. Russia says long-range U.S. missiles for Kiev would cross red line. I'm pretty sure they already crossed that red line. But let me show this one right here. Now, this right here is Dmitry. I can't say that last name. Medvedev.
Maybe having black names, Dmitry.
I told you a lot of black people got Russian and all those type of names. But listen to this. Now this is their version of what's his name? He's a defense minister, I think. The Kiev Caramella gave birth to the protective security guarantees, which in fact are the prologue to the Third World War. Of course, no one will give any guarantees. Now he just admitted that we're in the Third World War. We're in World War III. No one will give any guarantees to the Ukrainian Nazis. This is almost the same as applying Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, Washington Treaty, to Ukraine. For NATO is the same shit. He put the shit emoji. Only side view. So it's scary. Our sworn friends, obviously he's being sarcastic, enemies is what he really means, Western chief of various calibers to whom this hysterical proclamation is addressed, must finally understand one simple thing. It directly concerns NATO's hybrid war with Russia. If these fools continue to unrestrained pumping of the Kiev regime with the most dangerous types of weapons, then sooner or later the military campaign will move to another level. It will no longer have visible boundaries and the potential predictability of the parties to the conflict, and it will follow its own military scenario involving new actors. It always been that way. So he's saying, if y'all keep giving them weapons, we gonna go get some people to help us. Maybe China, Iran, North Korea offered 100,000 soldiers.
Yeah.
North Korea offered them 100,000 soldiers.
That's their brothers and sisters.
Yeah, the Eurasians. So he's saying, if y'all keep this up, we're going to turn this into a full-fledged war. We're going to stop playing these games. It's not going to be a, what they call it? They don't call it a war right now. They're calling it a special operation. They're calling this a special operation in Ukraine, the Russians. They're not calling it a war yet. They said when we call it a war,
it's on.
It's really on. He sees right here, and this is what he said. This is why I say it's spiritual for them. They feel like they're going against evil in the Western world. And the Western countries will not be able to sit in their clean houses and apartments, laughing at how they carefully weaken Russia by proxy. Everything is flooding around them. Their people are fully grieving. They will literally burn the earth and melt concrete. Now, what burns earth and melts concrete, people? That's nuclear weapons. We're going to get a lot of it too. Everybody's going to be really, really bad. After all, it is said, for those three plagues from the fire, smoke, and sulfur coming out of their mouths, a third of the people died.
They put
Revelations 9 and 18, huh?
They put a damn quote from the Bible up.
Russians are Christian. They're Orthodox Christian, I think they call them. No, not Orthodox. What do they call them? Because they're separate from the Catholic Church. They're separated from them. They have their own version of the Pope. So he's saying a third. He's going to base off the scriptures. If y'all continue this, it's going to be nuclear war, and a third of the world's population is going to die. Now we know 2/3 of a certain group got to go too.
Negroes.
2/3, of course, according to law. 2/3 of Negroes got to go. But for now, narrow-minded politicians and their obtuse think tanks thoughtfully spinning a glass of wine in their hands, speculate on how they can deal with us without entering into direct war. Dull idiots with a classical education. Now, this man is basically telling you, y'all keep playing, we're going to nuclear war.
Dull idiots with a basic education.
Now, I want to show this right here. This is him quoting this. He said, and by 3/3 of the men killed in fire by the smoke and by brimstone was issued out of their mouths, with the power of their mouth and their tails were like unto serpents, and in their heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by the plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not be worshipped devils and idols for gold and silver and brass and stone and wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented for their murders, nor their sorceries, nor their fornication, nor their thefts. So when you got people quoting scriptures, they serious. They telling you, look, chill out. And this is what Russia think they're going against. They see Biden as a gay married monkeypox deputy accused of Satanism after wearing pentagram gear for a magazine cover.
Well, they're Satanists.
So Russia's like, we're going against the devil.
Yeah.
Even though
they devils too.
I was about to say that, we know who you is too, but they're looking at it like from a religious standpoint, we're fighting for, remember Russia said, look, if they want to get rid of Russia, if Russia doesn't exist, then why does the world exist? This is what Russians said. If Russia can't exist, then why would the world exist? They're ready to get rid of everything. Scorched
His tongue
earth.
smell like pure shit.
Huh?
His tongue smell like pure shit.
Oh yeah, and that's that what's that name? That god from India, the blue one. Not Kali Ma.
Kali Ma.
Yeah, Kali Ma. Taste for blood.
Cardi
That's what
B.
that is. The war god. That's what that is.
That's why she always sticking her tongue out.
Yeah, the taste
Meg
for
Thee
blood.
Stallion do it too.
Yeah, President Joe Biden, deputy monkeypox coordinator, appears to have interest in Satanism and demons. Dr. Dimitri, who is married to a man, currently serves as a director of the Division of HIV Prevention and Centers for Disease Control, according to the White House, and is a deputy national coordinator in the monkeypox response. The disease primarily affects homosexual men. Photos posted by Benny Johnson appear to show him wearing leather straps and a pentagon and a hat with a pentagram and standing over a floor with a pentagram on it, the symbol of Satanism. So let me just go ahead and show this. And they openly do it now. I'm not even surprised by how I think the entertainment industry was so bold with it that now everybody else feel like they can just show it to you anyway. I mean, I know for a fact we see people make videos that get hundreds of thousands of views talking about this
What
stuff.
does that tattoo say on his chest?
Hold on, let me see. Is it on one of these pictures? He said, "I have."
So this is his normal thing he do.
He said, "I have learned that there is light even in the darkness, in the darkest places."
I'm not shocked.
In the lounge area, a black spin bike hangs from the ceiling, draped in a leather fetish gear with a yoga studio and a massive 11-foot tall light up pentagram by the artist Desi Santiago leans against the wall, adding to a unique ambience of the Sunday calm candlelit yoga classes. That's the this is who Biden did he we already know he put a transgender woman as his as a medical general 4-star.
Very diverse
administration. All right.
Wokeism.
Editor-in-chief of Russia State newspaper provider dies of stroke during business trip. The latest Putin ally to expire in mysterious circumstances.
Damn.
Well, remember I talked about this last week. Allegedly, there was an attempt on Putin's life. Did I talk about that last week?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's this week then. Allegedly, I'm pretty sure I talked about that last week.
No, you didn't talk about no death being on Putin's life last week. And I don't need nobody to correct me because I know you didn't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. But yeah, apparently there was an attempt on Putin's life. Now, this is not being verified, but apparently he was riding in his car and a car pulled in front of him, an ambulance, and his car drove around them. And the right side of the car, there was a pop, a bang. He continued to go. He was able to get away. And the person who was in that ambulance, his body was found. So they got him up out of here.
They try to do a Tupac on him.
They try to drive up on Putin. Like, Putin be riding with bikers. You gotta do
better than that.
Putin said, I'm used to this. Many men wish death upon me. Blood. Let me stop. But yeah, didn't the other guy, his person who run his bombs? What the
what?
What the hell? Sorry, y'all. Hold on.
Well, I be damned. What the hell just happened?
I don't know.
I guess we better stop talking about Putin because
what the hell?
The United States government isn't liking it very much.
Bro, our whole screen just went black.
I guess the whole 50 Cent song had them scared.
They trying to flag the song? Damn. Hold on, y'all. I don't know, man.
50 Cent petty as hell.
Yeah, 50 would do some shit like that too.
He would do some shit like that.
He said Russians are the only people who didn't have slaves. Well, they were enslaved, kinda. You had to deal with the Bolshevik Revolution. They had to deal with those communists. They was underneath their rule for 70 years, and they finally broke away from them. That's why you get somewhere what they call the I forgot the name of it now. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I never did. Russia kind of gets ignored when it comes to the slavery thing. They never went into Africa that I know of. Yeah, might be right. But we know who they is too. Okay, we back now. All right. Okay. That was just y'all understand the whole screen just went black. We didn't even have the tabs, nothing. That was crazy. Travis called in the troops.
What?
George said Travis called in the troops.
I called in the troops.
Oh man.
George is an informant on this page.
Yeah, George, Travis said you want to snitch on
That's
us,
why he
man.
want my email address.
Oh shit, George. Fight back, George. Oh, hold on. Let me let this load because for some reason.
Informant.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing had to reload. Okay. Kremlin spokesman says no mobilization despite Ukrainian counteroffensive success. So this is the guy who's saying we're not going to. So you got some people in Russia who are calling for a mobilization of their military. I mean, start recruiting, start bringing in the full military force to Ukraine. Go to war. Get rid of this bug. Just get rid of them.
Before it gets any bigger.
Because you keep letting them just last longer and longer and longer. They saying, go ahead and just wipe them off the earth. Just get them out of here. And the Kremlin spokesman said no. Now that tells me that behind the scenes they are thinking about doing it. This counteroffensive was it was damaging to them. And they looking like, the world is looking like, y'all struggling with Ukraine, little old Ukraine. They got y'all going backwards. Now, it could be a strategy, some people are saying. Some people are saying that Russia gave up those grounds to get their military in the area so that they can surround them and make them, white flag it. So it might be a strategy. They might just took an L, but some people are saying they actually doing it. It's a strategy to do it.
Sound like a bullshit strategy.
They just lost. They're just getting their ass whooped.
I can't tell people how to do their strategies. We'll see.
Hey, bro, people don't like when you make excuses for an L, even if it's the truth.
People don't like excuses when you get your ass whooped.
You just lost, boy.
Fight another day.
You just lost. Get over
Ukraine said, get knocked out. Like your father used to.
The special operation has grown into a full-fledged war. We need to mobilize forces and resources, Zuganov, about the war in Ukraine. Now, this Zuganov guy is known as the leader of the Communist Party over there in Russia. So the leader of the Communist Party in Russia is saying, let's just go ahead and go to war with Ukraine. Now keep in mind, Russians are not communists. They are against those type of movements, which is why Putin was saying, I don't want Black Lives Matter in my country, because that's a Marxist movement.
It is a Marxist movement.
He's saying it was a communist movement. I don't want that destabilization in my country. But
what's going on with Brittany Griner?
What happened?
They ain't said no more about her leaving?
Nah, she got sentenced and they know she coming home. They told you they got it in their back pocket.
For the midterm? Damn, they got to wait all the way to November? Jesus.
They're going to have it in their back pocket for midterms. They're going to say, oh, look, Biden brought Brittany Griner home. And people going to be like, who gives a fuck? I mean, good for her.
That's how you treat a black woman?
Oh, here you go.
Don't care if she come home or not over having a little ounce of marijuana on her?
Mm-hmm. The leader of the Communist Party in Russia Federation, Gennady Zuganov, speaking at the first plenary meeting of the autumn session of the State Duma of the Russian Federation, said that special operation in Ukraine turned into a full-fledged war. His speech in the meeting broadcast on the website of a lower house of the Russian parliament. The leader of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation noted that in such a difficult and intense situation, the Duma session had not yet been opened. According to him, in the 2 months that the State Duma spent on vacation, the situation, including the front, have changed dramatically. The military political operation against the Nazis, fascists in Ukraine has grown into a full-fledged war, which was declared to us by the Americans, NATO, and United Europe. War and special operations differ erratically. He announced a special operation, and you can stop it. You cannot stop the war, even if you want to. You have to go all the way. War has two outcomes: either victory or defeat. So that tells me that behind the scenes in their government, they're already saying it's time to ramp it up. Now this may,
or
this may be something that drags out for another 6 months.
It has to be dragged out.
This might be something that lasts until early 2020, mid 2023. I doubt it lasts any longer than that, because after that, it's like you can't be going to war. Well, hell, America did it. America was in Iraq and Iran for 20 years.
Still there.
Yeah, they just left Afghanistan.
You believe they got it? Everybody completely gone?
Yeah, I think they left Afghanistan and China came in and replaced them. But I think they're still in Iraq and whatchamacallit. Putin's limo attack and assassination attempt amid the Ukraine war. So I didn't talk about this last week. I jumped the gun. The channel said that the president was
returning. Try to say this is deja vu.
The channel said that the president was returning to his official residence in decoy or backup motorcade amid deep security fears. So they seem like they already been getting a certain level of intelligence that someone is trying to kill them, which means that America or NATO
is fake news,
has spies in Russia. And Russian President Vladimir Putin's limousine was attacked in an alleged assassination attempt amid Moscow's raging war against Ukraine, according to a report by the General SVR, a Russian telegram channel. Putin's limousine was allegedly hit by a loud bang from the left front wheel. I said right, my bad. Followed by heavy smoke, but he was unharmed as the vehicle drove to safety. Mirror COUK reported. The channel said that the president was returning to his official residence in a decoy or backup motorcade in deep security fears. The motorcade comprised 5 armored cars with Putin in the third. It said, without mentioning the date of the incident, the Russian leader car, despite the problems with control, made its way out of the attack scene to reach the safety of the residence. The channel added, without providing details, General SVR said more information on the supposed attack were classified. The head of the president's bodyguard and several other people have been suspended and are in custody, the channel further claimed. A narrow circle of people knew about the movement of the president and cortege, and all of them were for the Presidential Security Service. So they're trying to say that they may have been, his security might have been in on him getting attempted assassinated. Or this is a fake Planet story by the United States or the West to make it seem like his country is against him. And his country is not against him. They still trying to make it seem like the Russian people are against him going into Ukraine. This is Financial Times. And we talked about this a few months ago when there was an article written by, I think it was the New York Times, where they said that Germany needs to take the lead. To ignore history, Germany needs to take the lead in the NATO, in the EU, I mean. So Germany outlines aims to take up leading military role in Europe. Defense Minister says Berlin must use its heft as Russia's invasion of Ukraine changes strategic thinking. So now here go Germany again, want to be the rulers. It's in some of these people to want to conquer the mountain. These people that were at the bottom, and now they have some level of, they have power, and they just want more and more and more. And that's just
people.
And that's just who they are. Germany must assume a leading military role in Europe, the country defense minister has said, underscoring how Russia's war in Ukraine has transformed Berlin's strategic thinking. She made her comments in Ukraine as Ukraine pressed on with its counteroffensive in the east of the country, and Russia vowed to continue with the invasion until all the military goals were met. The war has increased pressure on Germany to step up its contribution to the Western alliance, despite historic reservations. Wonder why you got those historic reservations over playing a bigger role after the Second World War. She argued Berlin was doing so for reasons to do with our size, our geographic location, our economic power, in short, with our heft. In comments with the German Council of Foreign Relations, she added, that makes us a leading power whether we like it or not in a military sense too. Said that the U.S. will remain Europe's main protector and there could be no substitute for the American nuclear deterrent for the foreseeable future. She said foreseeable future. She said she acknowledged that Germany's Nazi-era crimes and the war of destruction waged by its army in Europe between 1939 and 1945 had turned skepticism about the military into a kind of virtue. But she said Germany speech this year with China Chancellor Olaf. The defense minister said Germany had to meet the NATO target of spending 2% of its gross domestic product on defense over the long term, not just for the next couple of years. But she said that Germany could only guarantee peace and freedom for its people if it abandoned its old self-image and defined security as a central task of the country. We must avoid a situation where in a few years we cannot afford to maintain the equipment we are purchasing now. She said, reiterating plans to set up 3 combat-ready army divisions in the early 2030s. There you go.
Go to 2030s again.
So Germany want to get back. Germany want that thing back.
They're not getting it back.
Germany like, look, we could, we nice. We could do it again.
Nope.
Now think about it. This is why the UK left the EU. They're looking at like, why would we follow France and Germany? We fought against Germany. And France, y'all didn't do shit. And we're supposed to just be in the group. If they would have made London the headquarters for the EU, they would have stayed. If they would have made the UK the head of the EU, they would have stayed. But they're like, we're not equals. The UK citizens are looking at it like, we're not equals. We conquered the world almost. We conquered way more than the French. We're better than y'all. Germany, y'all didn't even get out of Europe. We beat you. We're not gonna be third fiddle to y'all.
What?
So this is, by the way, this is what they call it. This is a tribal war, tribal infighting. Because some people get mad if you say that,
that's their business.
That's an African thing. No, that happens in the UK. I mean, Europe as well.
They have tribes too.
Yeah,
just like the Middle East has tribes.
It is what it is, man.
No, people of color. What's going on?
Travis Duke got question why so hit me up and get the smoke. Y'all gonna talk about 4 ambassadors to China who died under suspicious circumstances? You know what, bro? I ain't see that, but I definitely will look it up. So 4 ambassadors to China. You saying 4 ambassadors to China who died under suspicious circumstances? Not surprised, but then again, that might have been China. That might have just been China doing what it do. So
that probably was China.
They probably just, what's that girl named? Fang Fang? The one who was sleeping around with a official in America. He was having an affair with an Asian woman named Fang Fang. And then recently, a couple months ago,
in the plane.
A plane crash happened, and the only death mentioned in the article was a woman named Fang Fang. They didn't say if that's her. They just made sure you knew that name was on the plane's name list. Fang Fang. So, she dead. Don't worry about her no more. Man, she probably took the information back to China, and she probably sitting up in an apartment Israel. Chilling. Then again, they might have got up out of here after they got information.
I say everybody go to Israel.
Even Chinese?
Chinese people go to Israel.
Everybody that disappeared into Israel. Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
Look at Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joey.
Heading out to a barbecue.
George want Uncle Joe to fix them damn the debt. You want to give that college debt, don't you?
He want it all paid off.
Uncle Joe can't do it for you, Georgie. Hold on. This thing is lagging so bad right now. All right.
No, when I first saw that article.
For this one?
Yeah, it said UK invites Biden and it didn't invite Trump.
Yeah.
And then you have people in the comment section like, why y'all just talking about Trump? He didn't invite the Obamas, the Clintons, the Bushes, Reagan. He didn't invite anybody.
Harris, the vice president. He didn't invite a lot of people. But you mentioned Trump. Even though he was good friends with Andrew, wasn't he?
I don't know nothing about Trump being friends with Prince Andrew.
Oh, you don't know now. UK only invites Biden's to rep U.S. at Queen's funeral, but will let him ride in own car.
It's a private event. Why would they invite everybody?
I think they said the building that they're in is only 2,000 people. And this is, regardless of what you think about it, this was the Queen of England. This is
not just anybody going to be invited there.
Like it's 2,000. It's just 2,000 people. So like millions of, they said that the waiting line for people to see her casket is 24 hours last time I checked. So people are waiting in line for a day to see her casket. I remember when the Pope died back in like 2005, 4, whatever year that was, and we were watching it on TV. They had his body on TV for a week.
Yep.
And my uncle at the time, he walked in one day and saw us looking at it, and we were just talking about it. He was like, "Who that?" We said, "That's the Pope." We said, "Fuck the Pope." They would have my ass out there for a week. If I die, fuck him.
At the time, we couldn't understand why he said "fuck the Pope."
Yeah, he said "F the Pope," and we weren't offended, but we were just like, "What? This is blasphemy!" Like what? And now I'm older. It's like, yeah, fuck the Pope. Shout out to I'm sorry, this is like really
It's lagging bad.
Like really laggy. I don't know what happened. It just happened. The screen went black and now we can't even move.
Yeah, we might have to.
Yeah, we might have to end this a little early. I'm not sure yet. Let me just. It is bad. Jeez.
Did you hit refresh?
I can't refresh it. I have to refresh them all individually, I think. I'm sorry, y'all. This is really, really slow. It was
fine
random.
early. It was actually doing okay after it went black.
It just went black and now, and it's just let's try this. Let me just delete 2 of them. Let's see what it does. Close group. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so that one should close. Yeah, this is going to be the last segment because this is lagging really bad. So obviously we talked about Biden's been the only ones that got invited. Another thing that happened is Prince William, and what's her name? The Duchess Meghan.
Prince William.
I'm sorry, not William.
Harry.
Prince Harry and Meghan.
Meg.
So they came out and it said Prince Harry and Meghan Markle furious. Kids won't be HRA. They won't get an honor. They won't get a name.
They are gonna get a name.
They're saying they won't.
When did they do it?
Remember they didn't give his son a name.
But after the queen died,
they're saying they're still not gonna get one.
Oh, that must have been the king that decided to do that then, because when she died, they were supposed to get their titles.
Remember, King Charles. Meghan Markle's father, her dad, who's white. He has a book. So not her dad. I'm sorry. There's a book coming out, right? And that book's supposed to have some stuff in it. And more than likely, who is now King Charles is not going to allow that book to come out.
When did it change that they wouldn't be able to get the titles?
I'm trying to get. I can't even get to the article. It's
cannot download the video.
Okay.
What is going on?
You saw it. The screen just went black.
You can't go to the next tab?
Hold on. I just went to the. Okay, here we go. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle furious that their kids won't receive HRH titles. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids will not be given His Royal Highness titles.
Why?
Jesus.
Because the reason why they get their titles now is because King Charles is now his line.
It's his line.
Instead of it being his mother's line.
It's his line.
It's his line now.
Yeah, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle kids will not be given his and her Royal Highness titles, leaving the exiled couple once again furious at the royal family over the snub, according to report. I thought they didn't want the names no more. Didn't they leave the royal palace?
They didn't want to be a part of it. It was, she was dealing with racism and all sorts of things.
Harry's dad, the new King Charles III, has agreed to soon bestow the titles of Prince and Princess of his California-based grandkids, Archie and Libet. But after a week of the tense negotiations, he has refused to allow them to be known as His Royal Highness titles that were stripped from their podcasting parents after they abandoned the family in the UK in 2020. So they was in negotiations. It fell through. And
in negotiations?
Yeah, you got to negotiate titles. Like, what do we get? What's the deal?
There's no negotiation. So he must have told her, either you get rid of that damn podcast you got with Spotify, because that's what they really been talking about. He wants her to get rid of that podcast.
Because you're talking about us.
Yeah. Because, you know, they're already accusing her of having a tape recorder on her and all sorts of shit while she was over there.
Yeah.
So the deal must have been,
get rid of the podcast.
You tell your wife to get rid of the podcast, and I will give you your kids' titles.
And come out publicly in support of us and say we're not racist.
And Meg, once again, refused to do it.
That is the agreement. They can be prince and princesses, but not a royal highness, because they are not working royals. So he's saying, if you're not going to come to the UK and be a public servant,
won't be your...
then you can't have his royal highness titles. You can be princess and princess, but you can't have the titles until you come here, live in the palace, and be public servants.
Well, that makes sense.
Go to the places and sit and wave your hand and all that other stuff. That makes sense. So why would I let you be
But you know they gonna spin it and say he didn't name it because they got black blood in them, and that's why.
Why would I give you the titles if you in California?
That means you just want the hype, the clout.
Oh, you in Hollywood. That's really what this is about. Well, she was on that show, Suits.
I didn't know she was black.
I did not know she was black. But in the show, apparently she had a black father in the show.
I thought she was a spicy white.
But yeah, the decision follows a lot of talks over the past week since Harry's dad became king. In a moment, his 96-year-old mother died last Thursday. They have been relentless since the queen died. The insider said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, saying they have been insistent that Archie and Olivia are prince and princess. I thought they didn't want the obligations. Why are they trying to give it to the kids? It's like they're trying to make a racial, like you said, trying to make it a racial thing. So they say they don't want it behind the scenes, make it seem like they want it, so that they can go on their podcast and say,
Not they, her.
Oh, you think it's
he
all
has
her?
A podcast.
You think it's all her? It says podcasting couple.
It's her podcast. It's not his podcast.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Maybe he just not on it as often, but maybe they both.
It's her podcast. It's not his podcast.
Okay. Okay, let me show this one right here. It seems to be loading a little bit now. Professor who wished Queen excruciating death explains defiant stance on podcast.
Oh, damn. She said she wished her excruciating death?
Yeah, she said may she have excruciating death. Now, she came out. She's the one who was calling Black Americans a cotter.
Stay away from me, a cotter.
She's the one that was saying that. And then she got in some hot fire when Jeff Bezos retweeted what she said about Queen Elizabeth. And she had Twitter deleted the tweet. And then she came out and said, you know, why she said what she said. I ain't even got to go through this. It's kind of obvious why she said it. She got a podcast called This Week.
Wait a minute. She got a podcast too?
Well, I guess it's hers. She's a Nigerian-American associate professor of a second language acquisition at the prestigious Pennsylvania Nigerian. University. Sat down and interviewed Wednesday on the podcast. It's not her podcast. She was on a podcast This Week in White Supremacy, where she took a defiant stance, telling that host, "I said what I fucking said."
Damn. But then when she put out that statement about Akata, didn't she try to say she's Black American?
No.
Oh,
she said she was Nigerian.
I didn't see nowhere where she said she was Nigerian.
Yeah, I knew she was Nigerian. Now this woman here, I can't play this because, like I said, it's lagging. I'm sorry, y'all. It said, "I would like to apologize as an American. No one wants to hear from you right now, Oprah. Sit down." Broadcaster Kinsley Schofield said it's unrealistic Oprah Winfrey will get an invitation to the coronation following her recent comments on the royal family. Remember, Oprah's the one who interviewed Prince Harry and what's called it.
She interviewed Meg.
So they're saying apparently she wanted to be a part of the coronation. She wanted to go because a lot of people want to go to the coronation. They're like, you're not getting invited. And she said she apologized as an American because Americans, when she died, were making jokes.
What particular group?
Well, not just black people. It was all people. They were making jokes for the most part. You had a few. What's his name? D.L. Hughley. He came out and said, "I'm disappointed with black people for not showing restraint at the Queen's death."
This the same person they defended against Monique though.
Yeah.
And said she was talking about his family, his wife.
And she said she was sad that your wife had to be with a coward.
And what is he? He just proved that he's what? Exactly.
Fuck Uncle Joe, because he's not about that student loan debt life, son. Uncle Joe.
George, man, he ain't getting his student loan paid off.
Nah, bro, you have to live with that.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people say they live with it, don't pay it. A lot of people just don't pay it. They just die. They live their life normal.
Debt.
Huh?
You gonna have to die with debt.
That's what they want you to do in America anyway. America love you in debt.
Joe ain't getting rid of your debt. You ain't getting no reparations.
No.
They gonna say, ain't getting no reparations.
Shit, me.
He claimed he was about that FBA ADOS life. Now he told me we ain't getting no reparations.
Queensland man who claims to be Charles and Camilla's son drops DNA bombshell after Queen's death. Charles got what he wanted. He got the throne. He got his wife. He got it all. Now it's time for me to get my happy ending.
They got a son together?
Apparently they have a son together who they don't claim.
How they? Wait a minute. I ain't never seen a mother and
a
father.
I guess they had a kid while he was married. When he was with, what's it called, still.
Diana.
So he had a kid then, so they just kicked the kid out. They the Game of Thrones the kid.
But he's not a bastard.
He's not a bastard.
He is a bastard because he was.
Yeah, because he was married. So apparently, and now he's trying to get him to take the DNA test, but he's a monarch. You can't take his DNA. It's like when a person runs for office, a president, you can't take their DNA because whatever harms them, people will have their information, and that can be used as a national security threat. So he's trying to figure out a way.
Okay, then all he got to do is have his brother, his sibling, which would be Prince. Which would be William or Harry.
He can't.
Huh?
He can't.
Harry's not.
They're not gonna do it.
But it may not come. It probably come back not the father.
If it did, it'd be embarrassing. Like that's what's going on with Jay-Z. Funny how that story went away. Remember the dude who saying Jay-Z, the dude and the girl. They said Jay-Z is my daddy. That girl looked just like him.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't get no DNA test from Harry, because they already say that Harry is.
Yeah, some other dudes. Yeah, they said it's another dude.
I think that's his father.
That's the dude right there. He said that's his daddy.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think the King Charles is Harry's father.
No, I'm talking about that's the dude who's saying that Prince Charles is daddy.
Well, damn, that means he's saying because you and my mama are now. Y'all have gotten married and it's official.
Yeah, you can claim it now.
He would be the firstborn son.
And he would be king.
But he don't look like him, though.
Yeah.
He don't look like him at all, to be quite honest.
Damn, you think he lying?
They do that.
Why the man gotta lie?
Okay.
Well, there was a man in was it America? Was it Arizona who said that he was the rightful heir to the throne?
So now that he's the king.
No, that was like 10, 15 years ago. A dude came out and said, I'm the rightful heir to the throne. My name is da-da-da-da. This is my lineage. He's saying he's the rightful heir.
Well, he didn't claim him until he didn't come out with this information until his dad became king.
Oh, he had to wait because shit was hot. When he wasn't king, he bring that shit to the public, Now that he king, But by the way, during this time when Queen Elizabeth died, there's probably hundreds of stories that came out that are crazy, but people just throw them out during that traffic because you ain't gonna pay attention to it because this happening. So there's a lot of stuff that came out. A lot of stuff was passed. A lot of articles came out revealing some truth about certain stuff that we can't even discuss because people were paying attention to this. Now, we talked about this last week. We did talk about this last week. The Stone of Destiny to return to Westminster Abbey for coronation. Now, the Stone of Destiny, also called the King David Stone, also called the Daughter of Pharaoh Stone. We're going to get to that. Now, the story of how that stone got into Europe or Scotland.
You told the story last week.
I didn't. Not this story. If you remember in the scriptures, Prophet Jeremiah, and his secretary Baruch, they went from Israel to Egypt for Pharaoh because they had a alliance there with the king of Israel, Zechariah. That's his name.
Zechariah.
He had a alliance with the king of Egypt, or the rulers of Egypt, through marriage. And the stone that he had was from Jacob when he was laying in the wilderness. Remember that? And he put his head on the stone.
Yeah.
Which proved that the only way you can lay your head on the stone is comfortable is if you have woolly fro hair, because they didn't want to feel like a rock underneath your hair because you'd be laying on your hair. But that's a whole other topic. That stone, he took it with him to Israel. That stone it's always been there. And when they went there and they left and went to talking about Jeremiah, they left and went to Europe, what we now say is Scotland, Wales, and all that stuff. He took it with him there. And that's when the other people was there and they took that stone there. Oh, this is the king, this is the stone of Jacob. And that stone became the way that they coronated the king. That same stone was used by King David. If you read the scriptures, it tell you that he stood upon the throne, the stone. That's how they say it. He stood up on the stone when somebody came into the room, which means you could say that he was sitting on it, because when they do it, they put the stone underneath the throne. So you sit on the stone. So apparently it was taken from Israel through all the way to Europe. Now I'm gonna show this right here. It's so slow. See right here? Yeah, y'all can see this. That's the stone underneath the throne. See what they got underneath it? Yeah. Now this was in. You see the lions
exactly
around it. Now this was
lions.
So this was in Scotland. It's probably the
lions represent the tribe of
Judah. Now, another thing that came out of this that I saw. Jesus, this is so annoying, right?
You know, history is just slowly being revealed.
What is the Stone of Destiny at King Charles III's coronation? The legendary history of the stone block. Legends link this symbolic rock to the biblical stone of Jacob in the book of Genesis. Come on. The coronation of King Charles will, like that of the mother Queen Elizabeth 70 years ago, feature a historic block of stone with immense symbolic significance, especially to Scotland. So much so, it was once stolen from Westminster Cathedral by University of Glasgow students who were determined it should be returned to Scotland. The Stone of Destiny, also known as the Stone of Scone, or the Coronation Stone, was a sacred ancient symbol of Scotland's monarchy. Some Scottish legends say that the block of rock is actually the biblical stone of Jacob from the book of Genesis, according to the Old Testament. Jacob was using the stone as a pillow when he had his famous vision of a stairway leading to heaven, which became a Jacob's ladder.
You remember the movie Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah. Legends have it that the stone of Jacob was brought to Ireland via Egypt and Spain, either by the prophet Jeremiah or Pharaoh's daughter. If it was reputedly taken to Scotland by Fergus, the legendary first king of Scots, in around 500 AD. It's believed that the stone spent the first 100 years in Scotland, in the Isle of Iona, the symbolic in the center of Scottish Christianity and burial place of 4 Danish Scottish kings, 8 Norwegian kings, 4 Irish kings. In 841 AD, it was brought to the now ruined Scone Abbey in Scone near Perth. Now, why would they have Scottish, Norwegian, and Irish kings buried in one place? Because they all knew each other. They all were family or some level of connection. So the red sandstone block was used for centuries in the inauguration of Scottish kings until King Edward I seized the stone in the Scots in 1296 during the First Scottish War of Independence. Edward Longshanks had it built in the new throne in Westminster. Since then, it has been used in the coronation ceremonies of all monarchs of England and then the United Kingdom. So I want to show this right here. What is the saying they use for the queen or the king when she's sitting in the seat? What do the people say? God bless the king, right? Or God bless the queen.
Well, they've been saying God bless the queen. That's why that lady said it'll be decades. Or they say God bless the queen again because it's a king in the seat.
And Esau seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, and went Esau into Ishmael and took into the wives. And we already know that Jacob went out to the Beersheba and toward Haran, and they lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took the stones to that place and put them in his pillows and lay down in the place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up in the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascended and descended on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham, thy father, and God of Isaac, and land whereon thou liest. To thee will I give it, and to thy seed, and thy seed shall be as from the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south, and thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. I'm looking for one in particular. Okay, here we go. And behold, I am thee, and I keep thee in all places, whether thou goest, and will bring thee again into the land. And Jacob awake up out of the sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and he said, how dreadful is the place. This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose early in the morning and took the stone that he had put on his pillow and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon it on top of it. And he called the name of the place Bethel, and the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will with me and will keep me in the way that I go, and I will give bread to eat and remnant to put on. So that's him talking about the stone, right? Now look at this right here. Low. Okay. And they brought out the king's son and put upon him a crown and gave him a testimony and made him king. And he said his sons anointed him and said, God save the king. So they put him on the throne and said, God save the king.
And now
they got a whole song dedicated to God save the king. So that came all the way from Israel and made it all the way to Europe.
Well, they said the descendants of, Israelites.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they descendants, all right.
Why do you keep trying to take those people birthmark?
Yeah, people piss me off when they say that. Why are you trying to steal somebody else's history, man?
Black people just keep stealing people's history.
You see, God Save the King or God Save the Queen. The author of the tune, this was turned into a song for them, is a national or royal anthem in the most Commonwealth realms, the territories, and the British Crown dependencies. The author of the tune is unknown and it originates in Planchet, but attribution to the composer John Bull is sometimes made. God Save the King is the de facto national anthem of the United Kingdom and one of the two national anthems used in New Zealand since 1977, as well as for several of the UK's and territories that have been on additional local anthems. So they've been saying that since then. There's another one I wanted to show.
That's your book.
Yeah.
That's your history.
Yeah, even men and women and children, even just means all right here. Even men and women and children and king daughters and every person. And the captain of the guard had left with Goliath and the sound of Achim and the son of Shaphan and Jeremiah the prophet and Baruch the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt and obeyed not the voice of the Lord and said that now that place right here, I can't pronounce this right here, but this right here has been attributed. You can find this in the Irish history. They have documentation of this word here. So some people believe that this is that area. It is what it is. Can this please go away? Thank you. They came to the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah and saying, take great stones in thy hand and hide them in the clay and the briquet, and which is in the city of Pharaoh's house, and in the sight of the man in Judah. So this place is referenced in some Irish history. So maybe Jeremiah went there and told them about this place. Maybe. I just want to show that how that history ties up. This is crazy. So I read something along. Sorry, hold on. I read something a long time ago. Harry was someone else's child. Yeah. I forgot that guy's name. Who they said is his real daddy. Is his real daddy. You know what they say? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. Twitter whistleblower says there was at least one Chinese spy working at the company.
This is a joke.
Now Twitter got literal Chinese spies at the company. It went from Twitter admitting that the FBI was having them delete accounts, giving them information on accounts, hide information. Now they're saying we had a full-fledged Chinese spy on staff.
You had a spy on staff. You had the government telling you
what to do.
You're a bot.
Your whole operation is bot. Countries most indebted to China mapped as global tensions rise. The poorest countries in the world are on the hook for $30 billion in debt service payments this year, of which around 40% is owed to China.
Let's see where the map is.
Hold on. If we can just get to the damn.
We know it's gonna be some African countries.
Look, I knew you were gonna say it. Can't just leave them alone. China officially lent 170 billion. So these other countries.
Damn, look at Africa.
So you can see there's a lot of African, a lot of Asian countries, some Middle Eastern.
Lit up.
Huh?
Africa lit up.
Especially, is that Congo? I can't tell if that's Congo.
Red.
But is that Central Africa?
Central Africa.
Yeah, it's
Congo
real
is
bad.
in Central Africa.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know if it's that deep.
South America.
United States.
No, United States ain't, apparently we ain't got no
United
debt.
States ain't got no debt.
Mexico, Guatemala. Damn, even ain't that the islands? Ain't that
That's one of them island countries.
It's not Jamaica. That's what's the name of it? Trinidad, ain't it? Damn.
Wow.
Madagascar, really? How the hell you get Madagascar in debt? Well, yeah, that's who China apparently got all the people owing their money. Angola, Laos, Congo.
Look, Congo was up there. Yep, 29%.
Jesus.
Top, you right. Top 5.
By the end of 2020, according to the World Bank, the countries most indebted to Chinese leaders were Pakistan with 77.3 billion worth of extreme external debt, Angola with 36 billion, Ethiopia with 7 billion, 6 billion, Kenya with 7.4 billion, Sri Lanka with 6.8 billion.
Sri Lanka.
Many of these countries have received financing as part of China's new Silk Road initiative, a massive 900 billion program of port, rail, and land infrastructure construction spanning Eurasia and Africa. We've been saying, they're getting y'all in debt. They're getting y'all in debt, and they just, you don't know what you're doing. This is our country.
Wasn't they helping Akon out with his city?
Yeah, they supposedly helped. No, they helped him with the lights, giving lights to places. Biden White House just put out a framework on regulating crypto. Here's what it is. Well, this is why if you were somebody who put money into crypto or one of those, the reason why it failed so hard is because it's not regulated. They had to bring it they got to bring it all the way back down, and so that they can regulate it and control the rise of it, because that thing was competing directly with the dollar. So, and people were just like getting rid of the dollar. I got Bitcoin. I don't need.
You got Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, I got no Bitcoin. I got no Bitcoin. U.S. midterms 2022, tracking Trump's extraordinary endorsement spree. You know what Trump's win percentage is right now with endorsements?
What?
Let me show you. When I saw that, I said, damn, I didn't even think it was that high. Because when they talk about it, they act like he takes some L's and some wins. Back when he stood in the White... Okay, hold on. Over the past several months, candidates endorsed by Mr. Trump have pocketed victories across the country, winning 92% of the time.
I told you.
From his home in Palm Beach, Florida, and self-proclaimed king of endorsements, has weighed in on almost 200 races, backing Republican candidates running for the U.S. Senate, House of State Governor in 39 of the 50 states, and an unusually high number. During the 2018 midterms, he backed just under 90 candidates for those same positions, according to Ballotpedia. The same year, former President Barack Obama endorsed 94 candidates. The election will see voters decide who gets to sit in the Congress as well as hold key positions in the home state. We know. 92%? So basically, at this point, if Trump backs you,
you go weird.
You won. How Trump picks did in the Republican primaries. Incumbent, open, challenger. So they won. Incumbent, they all won. The ones who were already in and he got behind them, they won.
Open, challenger.
Like, goddamn. Senate, all. Governor, all.
Wow.
Damn. Open refers to seats with no incumbent, either because of retirement or redistricting. While it's beyond doubt that Trump backs winners, there is an important caveat. Many of these races were sure thing from the start. Some 54, nearly one quarter of Mr. Trump's candidates ran unopposed. And his record for boosting further by supporting a large majority, 74% of incumbents, tied to the true candidates with Republican bona fide who had won their seats in the last election and were running for office again. In fact, only a single Trump-endorsed incumbent lost. The scandal-ridden Madison Cawthorn, who served 2 years in the House Representative from North Carolina. No, he lost because he came out and said, there's a lot of orgies happening.
Yep.
And drug shit happening. That's why he lost.
That's why he lost.
He came out and said that there was some shit going on with the Republicans.
He didn't know how to
well.
keep his mouth closed.
They're like,
and they shut him up.
And then immediately, like 2 weeks later, they put those pictures out of him in a wheelchair with them dress on. Remember that?
Yep.
And it's like, oh, they getting rid of him.
That was his blue dress and a pearls moment.
Pearl necklace. I knew then when they put those pictures out, he done.
He
they
was
done.
Finished.
Trump predicts big problems if Biden indicts him. I just don't think America would stand for it. Donald Trump acknowledges the possibility that Joe Biden Department of Justice may indict him and warned that it may cause big problems.
Trump got warrants, baby.
Well, shit, the queen had warrants when she died, so fuck it. Warrants don't mean nothing no more.
Nope.
DOJ refuses. Sorry.
Watch My Son Hunter. Click here.
I don't want to watch it right now. I'm sorry. Sorry, Breitbart. DOJ refuses
There he goes getting that far right news.
DOJ refuses to release Biden administration plan to intervene in the 2022 election. So you know how we said that YouTube was saying how they're going to fortify the midterm. Twitter said they're going to fortify the information during the midterm. I wonder what that is. Well, how are you going to fortify? How are you going to strengthen it? You know that dude Mike Lindell who runs MyPillow? You could tell he used to be you could tell he used to do dope.
Allegedly.
One who kind of talked a little bit fast.
Hardee's.
Yeah, MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell says FBI seized his phone at Hardee's drive-thru.
What the hell he doing at Hardee's?
Well, he said he was with a friend and they went to get some little snack at Hardee's, and he said a truck.
He probably was getting that chicken and
biscuit,
country fried steak, chicken and biscuit.
Nah, that's Wendy's. No, that's
Hardee's. I would
yeah.
know.
That's Hardee's. Yeah, Chevy love that biscuit. But yeah, he said a car pulled off in front of them, and he said either that's bad people or FBI.
I loved that biscuit.
He said a SUV pulled in front of them, and he said those either bad people or that's FBI or that's the FBI, and somebody like that's both.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I want to show. I'm going to jump to this right here. This is the last thing I'm gonna show because this thing ain't liking to, but I can't do it no more. Last story here.
You got 3-4 more.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's only that Amtrak thing where they would think about striking and they end up not doing it. DeSantis flies 2 planes of migrants to Martha's Vineyard. The Florida governor action is an effort to transport illegal immigrants to sanctuary destinations, spokesman said. So remember how we said in Texas they were sending them to Washington and overflowing them?
I just saw an article where they sending them to Kamala Harris' house.
Yeah,
too.
I got that one too. So now they sending them to Martha's Vineyard, and now they're trying to say now that this is illegal when you willingly transport illegal immigrants around the country. That's illegal. And wait, we know for a fact that the Biden administration have been bringing people into the country on planes at midnight. So what's that then? I'm seeing more black people talk about immigration than I ever seen. I saw somebody make a YouTube video saying there was a black person. There's immigration in this country is out of control. I was like, I ain't never heard niggas talk like this.
Yeah, they don't want to have to be bilingual.
He said, immigration in this country is out of control.
Niggas got to learn how to speak Spanish.
When I heard that liberal woman say that, Ann Coulter was having a discussion with the girl from TYT, Anna Kasparian, how do you say her name?
She is.
And the Anna chick said that, and Ann Coulter was saying that this affects black people the most. They have to learn Spanish, they have to learn new. And the liberal, the conservative said that, and the liberal said, oh, they can learn a new language.
No, I ain't learning a new language.
And it's like, yeah, Mike is dropped off at Kamala's DC doorstep dispute her secure border claim. We come in freedom, no problem. We come in free, no problem. So they dropping him off at Kamala's doorstep too. This may backfire on them.
Why you say that?
You're bringing them deeper into the country. You're trying to get them out of your district to keep your office. Let's be honest. You're trying to keep your seat. But it might backfire in the long run because you're just sending them deeper into the country. So
Well, they said as long as they ain't in Texas.
As long as I get my seat, as long as they don't vote against me,
I don't care.
I don't care. All right, I think that's the last one we're gonna do. I can't do it anymore. It's lagging like crazy. You gotta go ahead and do the last words. Do you think you guys want to say? Last thing you want to say?
Thanks for coming to view the channel. I know it's a little tough for some people around this year. It's fall. Some people tend to get depressed because the seasons are changing. A lot of people dealing with mental illness out there, but yeah, just keep your head up. For those of y'all who suffer during this time of the year.
Yeah. Anyway, man, hopefully y'all have another good week. I hope you enjoy the show. Keep trying to improve it. The sound, and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, the sound you definitely can hear. You can hear a grinding your teeth. You can hear a heartbeat. Anything that move, you can hear it.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, man, I don't know why I started lagging there at the end. I just can't go no more. But anyway, man, hope you enjoyed the show. Y'all be safe. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. All praise to the Most High. And peace, man.